8 figures emerged. 6 female hunters. Standard. Expected. Welcome additions to Roashue's growing ranged core. And the last 2. My brain stalled. 2 extremely short, extremely stocky figures. Waist height. Thick arms. Thicker builds. Massive braids. And on their adorable round faces. Golden. Beards. Bearded women. Carrying forging hammers bigger than their entire bodies. Dwarf female blacksmiths. Rare unit. Tier 2. Life class. Potential, C rank. Skills, intermediate forging. Basic rune reading. Introductory, alloy work. Description, born craftswomen. Their affinity for fire and metal is unmatched. They are the ideal operators of a dwarven forge. Holy, I said a word that lords probably shouldn't say in front of their subjects. Didn't care. The universe had just delivered exactly what I needed exactly when I needed it for the 3rd time this week. At this point, I'm convinced my SSS-rank talent has a hidden passive called Cosmic Convenience. Greetings, Lord. The 2 dwarves boomed in voices deeper than anyone their height had any right to possess, pounding their chest plates with meaty fists. I grabbed them both by their tiny shoulders. You. Forge. Now. These materials. Epic weapons. Go. Aye, Lord. We won't sleep until the steel sings. They snatched the horn and the toxic core, hefted their comically oversized hammers onto their shoulders, and thundered toward the dwarven forge. On their adorable little legs going thump, 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 thump at maximum waddle speed. Pujuan was jumping up and down behind them, cheering like a fan at a sports game. The forge doors opened. Heat blasted out. The dwarves walked in like they were coming home. The sound of hammers on metal echoed across my territory before they even got the door closed. Clang, clang, clang. Music to my ears. The sound of epic weapons being born. I looked at Roashue, who was watching everything with her usual calm expression, but I caught the tiniest smile on her lips. Your turn is coming, I told her quietly. I promise, she blinked, then nodded once. I'll be ready, master. Somewhere inside that forge, 2 bearded dwarf girls were hammering monster parts into legendary weapons while screaming dwarven war chants at 1 a.m. This is my kingdom. It's absolutely unhinged, and I wouldn't change a single thing about it. The dwarven forge at 1 a.m. sounded like someone was trying to murder an earthquake inside a volcano. The entire territory vibrated with every hammer strike. The 2 dwarf girls had ripped their shirts off within the first 10 minutes. Just pure muscle and golden beards glistening with sweat under the hellfire glow. These tiny women were animals. Screaming at each other in forge speak, hammers blurring with speed, sparks flying like a fireworks show directed by a maniac. Pujuan was pacing outside the forge doors like an expectant father in a hospital waiting room. Those legendary long legs wearing a trench into the ground. How long does it take? Are those tiny people even competent? Tong was leaning against a wall in her favorite shadow, pretending to be calm, but her cat eyes hadn't blinked in approximately 9 minutes. Her tail was doing that anxious, twitchy thing. Total poker face, totally fooling nobody. I stood there with my arms crossed, feeling it. 2 different energy signatures forming inside the forge. One screaming power, the other whispering death. Then 2 pillars of light punched through the forge chimney into the night sky. One dark purple, violent, dominating, the color of something that breaks things. The other sickly green, cold, poisonous, the color of things that make you wish you were broken instead. They're done. The forge doors exploded open, literally kicked off the hinges by 2 3-foot-tall women whose beards were standing on end from excitement. Lord, mission accomplished. Epic. 2 perfect epics. They were carrying the weapons like proud parents holding newborn babies. If the babies were 7 feet long and could destroy civilizations. Weapon 1, Dragon Horn Prison Breaker Halberd. 3 meters long. Dark red body covered in dragon scale patterns. The Swamp Lord's horn fused into the tip as a devastating spear point. 2 crescent moon blades on the sides glowing purple. Stats, Tier 3. Epic quality. Attack, 200 to 280. Strength, 30. Constitution, 20. Passive, Armor Break. Ignores 20% of target's physical defense. On every hit. Active, Toxic Earth Spikes. Summons poisonous ground spikes in a targeted area for AoE damage plus poison effect. It's an armor-piercing, poison AoE, stat-boosting monster of a weapon forged from boss parts and dragon engineering. This thing doesn't just kill enemies, it makes them regret being born. Pujuan's eyes went the size of dinner plates. Her face flushed crimson. Her hands were literally shaking as she reached for it. The moment her fingers touched the halberd, it hummed. Dragon blood resonance. The weapon recognized its owner. Like a sword pulling its knight. Yes, yes, yes. This is what I deserve, she screamed at the sky. Actually screamed, holding her new weapon like she'd just won the championship of existence. If happiness could kill, every person within a mile would be dead. Weapon 2, Swamp Fangs Dual Daggers. A pair of curved reverse grip daggers, completely dark green, shaped like venomous snake fangs. The blades had this sick glow running through them. Actual poison flowing inside the metal. Stats, Tier 3. Epic quality. Attack, 150 to 180 each. Agility, 35. Spirit 10. Passive, Toxic Penetration. Every single attack stacks, Swamp Venom, on the target, dealing true damage per second based on Spirit stat. Stacks up to 10 times. Active, Poison Shadow Flash. Teleport behind target and instantly apply 5 stacks of venom. Let me do the math on this. Tong teleports behind someone. 5 instant poison stacks. Each tick does true damage, meaning it ignores all defense. She stabs twice more. 7 stacks. 2 more hits. 9 stacks. 1 more. 10 stacks max. The target is now taking 10 simultaneous streams of unavoidable damage per second, while also being stabbed by an invisible cat girl. This isn't an assassination weapon. This is a war crime with handles. Tong picked up the daggers, and her whole body trembled. Not fear. Not cold. Pure overwhelming emotion from a girl who normally shows less feeling than a brick wall. Her cat eyes were actually glistening. She looked at me. Water in those lethal eyes. Perfect fit, I said. You and Pujuan are now my sharpest spear and deadliest blade. I will crush everything for you, master. Pujuan slammed the halberd into the ground so hard it left a crater. Dust cloud. Shockwave. Several swordswomen fell over. I will give everything. Tong knelt. Voice cracking. Maximum emotional damage from a girl who speaks in whispers. Then I noticed her. Ruashue, corner of the plaza. Watching everything. Holding the same tier. 3 elven longbow I evolved on day 1 with a single evolution point. The very first weapon I ever made. Pujuan had a tier 3 epic halberd. Tong had tier 3 epic daggers. Yuan had SS-rank potential and a unique hidden class. Ruashue had a bow I made when I didn't know what I was doing and B-rank potential that was now dead last in the entire hero roster. Her face was calm, professional, but those green eyes were dim. The light in them had gone out. She was doing the math in her head, and the conclusion was, I've been left behind. She glanced at her 6 trainee hunters looking up at her with admiration, and I could practically hear her thinking, maybe this is all I'm good for now. A teacher, not a fighter, a knife twisted in my chest. No, absolutely not. Ruashue, she flinched, stepped forward. That tall, slim figure looking fragile for the first time since I met her. These hunters are yours to command. For now, her eyes dimmed further. She thought this was confirmation. But this is temporary. Her head snapped up. Your potential is B rank. Too low. Your weapon is tier 3 common. Too weak. Both of those problems are getting fixed. Her lips parted. Shock replacing resignation. Starting tomorrow, I'm hunting evolution points with one priority, evolving you. I don't care if you're B rank now. By the time I'm done, you will be S rank. I will force your potential higher. And I will find you a bow that makes enemies lose sleep just thinking about it. I stepped closer. Looked directly into those emerald eyes. My elf sharpshooter belongs on the front line. Not babysitting rookies in the back. You are my first hero. You don't get to quit on me. Silence. Then her composure shattered. That eternally calm, ice-cold, professional-to-the-bone elf archer. The woman who had never shown more than 0.5 degrees of emotion in any situation. Dropped to her knees with tears rolling down her face. Ruashue swears to follow master. Forever, her voice cracked. Actually cracked. The most stoic person in my territory, sobbing on her knees because someone told her she mattered. I pulled her up, squeezed her shoulder. Then I looked at my pathetic 12 evolution points and the dark forest stretching beyond my walls. Tomorrow's hunt just got upgraded to maximum scale. 12 points in the bank. One elf to save. One promise to keep. And an entire forest full of monsters who were about to become the raw materials for the greatest comeback arc this story has ever seen. Dawn broke, and my territory had war energy. Pujuan was in the training yard testing her new halberd. She tapped a training dummy, tapped it, and the thing exploded into 4 pieces like it owed her money. She threw her head back and cackled. In the shadows nearby, a green blur flickered behind a black iron training post. 3 seconds of silence. Then the post started dissolving. Acid eating through reinforced wood like it was cotton candy in rain. The post collapsed into a pile of corroded mush. Tong appeared from nowhere, licking poison off her new daggers, cat eyes gleaming with serial killer satisfaction. My 2 war machines had their toys. Time to use them. Full army assembly. Everyone showed up. Everyone. 3 tier, 3 Xuanjia guards in full plate armor. 19 level. 5 silver sword women in gleaming chainmail, 12 female hunters with short bows, 2 bearded dwarf blacksmiths with oversized hammers, Ling Yi, the halfling cooks, all support staff, and my 4 heroes, Pujuan, Tong, Yuan, and Ruoshui. The biggest mobilization I'd ever commanded. 40-something warriors staring at me with fire in their eyes. I let my gaze sweep across everyone, then locked onto one person. Today we have one mission. I pointed at Ruoshui. For her, for our first hero. The archer who carried us on day 1. The woman who should be leading charges, not training rookies. We are going to farm enough evolution points to rebuild her from the ground up. Hua! Pujuan slammed her halberd into the dirt. Earthquake. Several girls stumbled. 4 Ruoshui, Yuan squeaked, fox ears standing tall, staff raised. Ruoshui's composure crumbled. Those stoic green eyes flooded with tears she'd been holding back since yesterday. She dropped to one knee. Ruoshui will give everything for master. I pulled her up. Good. Now tell me, where's our target? She swallowed hard. Wiped her eyes. Switched to combat mode in half a second. Professional to the bone even while crying. East Coast. 30 kilometers. A place called the Naga Serpent Nest. A tidal canyon shrouded in fog. Naga, half woman, half snake. Beautiful on top, 5 meters of killer serpent on the bottom. At least 100 of them in that canyon. Mostly tier, 2 Naga warriors. Some tier, 3 Naga priestesses who control water and storms. She paused. Her eyes sparkled. And Naga are hoarders. They collect shiny treasures obsessively. That nest is the richest loot cache in this entire region. 100 tier, 2 monsters. Multiple tier, 3 casters. A treasure vault. That's not a target. That's a buffet with a gift shop. Destination, Naga Serpent Nest. All units, move out. I left Ling Yi behind with 6 hunters to guard the base. Everything else marched east. The most overpowered newbie army in continental history, cutting through the forest at speed. Pujuan at the front, halberd on shoulder, dragon armor gleaming, radiating, I will restructure your skeleton, energy. 19 silver swordswomen behind her. Level 5, hardened, hungry for combat after yesterday's lizard humiliation. Yuan protected by 3 Xuanjia guards in the center. 3 tails flowing behind her, moonlight staff ready, looking half terrified and half determined. Ruoshui and her 6 hunters ghosting ahead as scouts, silent, invisible, deadly. And somewhere in the formation, a catgirl assassin with poison daggers was existing in a shadow that may or may not have actually been there. The smell hit us first. Ocean salt mixed with snake musk mixed with something that made my nose want to file a formal complaint. We're here, Ruoshui whispered from behind a tree. The canyon opened up below us. Shattered coastal cliffs plunging into a maze of tidal pools and jagged rocks. Dark water everywhere. And slithering through it, 3 Naga surfaced right at the entrance. And wow, upper body, stunningly beautiful women with snow-white skin, blue seaweed hair, seashell bikini tops barely covering the essentials. Faces that could launch 1,000 ships. Lower body, 5 meters of massive, glistening, muscular serpent tail thick enough to crush a horse. Naga warriors. Tier 2. Level 8. Skills, poison trident, tail sweep. These weren't the scrawny goblins and dopey kobolds from week 1. These were real monsters disguised as swimsuit models. Battle stations. Pujuan was already gripping her halberd with murder in her eyes. Wait, she froze mid-charge. Confused. Not you. Not Tong. Not Yuan. Stand down. I turned to my 19 silver swordswomen. Their eyes went wide. This fight is yours. Those 3 Naga? Your targets. Prove you've grown since the swamp. Show me your swords can cut through snake scales. Win this, and you earn the right to wear the lizard skin armor we're forging back home. Silence for 1 heartbeat. Then fury ignited in 38 eyes. Kill. 19 silver streaks launched down the cliff toward 3 very surprised snake women. HSSS. The Naga were not expecting an all-female ambush squad dropping on them from above. They grabbed their tridents and struck back. Hard. One swordswoman caught a trident on her blade, and the impact sent her skidding backward 3 full steps. Her hands went numb. Her face went pale. They're strong. Another Naga whipped its massive tail sideways like a living battering ram. 2 of my swordswomen caught a snake tail to the thighs and went down like bowling pins. Those Naga tails hit like getting slapped by a wet telephone pole made of muscle. Target the waist, where the woman part meets the snake part. That's where the scales are thin. My level 5 squad leader figured it out. Smart girl. The swordswomen reorganized. 3 per Naga, weaving between trident stabs and tail sweeps, jabbing at that human-to-snake connection point like they were trying to find a zipper. Squelch. -55. One girl got her blade iron. The Naga screamed, which is a horrible sound, like a beautiful woman and an angry snake screaming at the same time, and backhanded the girl so hard she went flying and coughed up blood. Yuan, Moon's blessing. Holy light. 80 HP. The girl's wounds started closing in real time. She looked down at her healing chest wound, looked up at Yuan, and her eyes went supernova. Sisters, we have Yuan. We literally cannot die. Charge. And they went absolutely feral. These girls threw defense in the garbage. Full aggression. Trade hits. Take damage. Get healed. Take more damage. Get healed again. They turned into an unkillable swarm of silver-armored piranhas, hammering every weak point on those Naga until the math finally caught up. Damage numbers and healing numbers flying everywhere like a broken calculator having a seizure. -50. -48. 75. 80. The girls were getting slashed, healed, slashing back, getting tail whipped, healed again, stabbing another weak spot. 3 tier, 2 level, 8 Naga warriors. Killed by pure attrition from a group of level 5 girls who refused to stop swinging. 6 evolution points. My girls collapsed onto the rocks, panting, bleeding from dozens of cuts, silver armor shredded, looking like they'd survived a blender. But grinning. Every single one of them grinning like maniacs. Nicewa. SSS. A magical shriek tore through the canyon like someone dragged a knife across reality's chalkboard. The water boiled. Naga started erupting from every pool, every crack, every shadow. 10, 20, 30 plus tier. 2 warriors surging up from below, tridents gleaming, snake tails coiling. And leading them, floating above the water on a pillar of magical ocean spray, a tier 3 Naga priestess. Purple seashell top. Coral staff, made from literal human bones. Expression that said, "You just made the biggest mistake of your short, pathetic lives." She raised her staff, and the entire canyon's water started responding. Waves forming, currents shifting. The ocean itself was becoming her weapon. Shields up. Xuanjia guards to the front. Swordswomen fall back and protect Yuan. My exhausted girls scrambled backward. The 3 Xuanjia guards slammed their tower shields into the ground like anchors. First line of defense, activated. Pujuan, the priestess is yours. Finally, she'd been vibrating with impatience this whole time. Her dragon eyes locked onto the floating Naga priestess like a missile acquiring a target. Toxic earth spikes. She drove her new epic halberd into the ground. Boom. The canyon floor erupted. Dozens of poisonous stone spikes shot upward through the charging Naga formation like the earth grew fangs. -950. -965. 7 or 8 Naga warriors got skewered mid-charge. Tails punctured. Bodies impaled. Instant death. Green blood geysering everywhere. 1 attack. 8 kills. The new halberd wasn't just good. It was a mass extinction device. Pujuan ripped the weapon free and launched at the priestess like a crimson comet. Foolish landwalker. Feel the ocean's fury. Deep SEA vortex. The priestess screamed, and the water beneath Pejuen twisted into a massive whirlpool, trying to drag her legs down and swallow her whole. Cute trick. Dragon God's Wrath. Activated. Gold-red flame detonated from Pejuen's body. The whirlpool hit her CC immunity and fizzled out like a candle in a hurricane. She was already in the air, halberd raised, runes blazing. Armor break. The priestess panic summoned a water shield in front of her chest. Crash. Minus 1050. The shield shattered. The priestess went flying backward, shrieking, already half dead from one hit. And behind her, materializing from absolutely nowhere, was a pair of glowing green daggers attached to a very calm cat girl. Poison shadow flash. Tong's blades carved 2 perfect arcs into the priestess's unprotected back. Minus 440. Minus 455. 5 stacks of swamp venom applied instantly. Then 2 more from passive. 7 total poison stacks, ticking simultaneously. Minus 85. 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 7 streams of true damage per second eating through the priestess's body. Her beautiful white skin started turning black, rotting in real time, flesh dissolving where the poison touched. You insects. You. Pejuen was already back. Halberd horizontal. Full swing. Thwack. The priestess's head separated from her shoulders mid-sentence and tumbled through the air with an expression of pure, "This can't be happening." Tier 3 Naga priestess killed. 100 evolution points. 10 seconds. A Tier 3 elite caster lasted 10 seconds against my 2 epic armed heroes. The new weapons weren't just upgrades. They were cheat codes forged into metal. The remaining 30 Naga saw their priestess get decapitated and collectively experienced what psychologists call immediate career reconsideration. Too late. Kill them all. My swordswomen poured around the Xuanjia shield wall and crashed into the leaderless Naga formation. Yuan's moon arrows blasting from the back. Moon's blessing keeping everyone topped off, healing faster than the Naga could damage. And Ruoshui, Ruoshui, standing on a cliff above the battle with her 6 hunters, raining arrows down with surgical precision. Every shot hitting a Naga's eye. Not killing them outright. Her bow was too weak for that. But blinding them, interrupting attacks, creating openings for the swordswomen below. Proving she was still the best marksman in this army, even with outdated equipment. 10 minutes. 0 friendly casualties. Every single Naga in the canyon, dead. Total haul, 280 evolution points. Grand total, 422. I checked the number and frowned. Not enough. Not nearly enough for what I promised Ruoshui. B rank to S rank isn't cheap. I needed hundreds more. Then Tong's cold voice cut through my frustration. Master, the priestess's staff. It's glowing. I walked over. The bone staff was pulsing with blue light. And next to it, a small bag woven from enchanted seaweed. I grabbed the staff first. Tier 2 fine quality. 5 spirit. 10% water magic damage. Nice. Would have been amazing 3 days ago. Now it's, give it to someone eventually, Tier. Still keeping it. Then I opened the bag. Pearls spilled out. A dozen glowing white pearls rolling across the rocks like nature's most expensive marbles. But underneath the pearls was something that made every pearl look like pocket change. A map. Ancient. Made from fish skin. Drawn in what looked like blood. A skull symbol marked on the surface. Below the skull, a massive whirlpool illustration. And in the center of the whirlpool, written in bold characters, Treasure Vault. My heartbeat spiked so hard I could hear it in my ears. A Naga treasure map, leading to a Naga treasure vault. The hoard of an entire civilization of obsessive shiny object collectors. Ruoshui said they were the richest hoarders in the region. This map leads to their main stash. Whatever is in that vault, weapons, materials, blueprints, crystals, it's going to be the single biggest loot haul of my entire career. And somewhere in that loot, maybe, just maybe, is a bow worthy of my first hero. I looked at the map, looked at Ruoshui, looked at my battered, blood-soaked, grinning army. Change of plans, everyone. I held the map up so the whole squad could see it. Who wants to go rob a snake bank? Treasure vault. 2 words. Written in blood on a fishskin map, found in a dead snake priestess's purse. If that's not the most metal sentence I've ever read, I don't know what is. Pajuan plastered herself against my back, trying to see the map, breathing down my neck like a dragon in heat. Treasure. We're rich. We're rich, master. Calm down. You're fogging the map. I traced my finger across to another marking, a section of jagged reef labeled Siren's Reef, next to the vault entrance. Whatever guarded this treasure was serious enough that a Tier 3 Naga priestess kept the map hidden on her person. This wasn't going to be a walk-in and grab situation. But that's tomorrow's problem. Because today's problem was currently groaning behind me. Ow, wow. My leg. Someone help. I can't feel my arm. I spun around and my stomach dropped. My 19 swordswomen were wrecked, sprawled across the rocks like beautiful wreckage from a shipwreck. Silver armor hanging off them in shreds. White skin covered in trident slashes and snake-tail bruises. They looked like they'd been through a car wash made of knives. I'd been so hypnotized by loot that I forgot my girls were bleeding out 10 feet away. Terrible leadership moment. 0 stars. Would not recommend. Yuane. Mass heal. Everyone. Now. Yes, master. Yuane raised her staff and went full sprinkler mode. By the moon god's name, healing light. Moonlight poured down like holy rain across all 19 girls simultaneously. 50. 55. 52. Green numbers erupting from every direction like the world's most beautiful fireworks display. Oh, that feels amazing. 19 girls moaning in relief at the same time. Wounds closing in real time. Cut ceiling. Bruises fading. In 15 seconds, my shattered army went from medical emergency to mostly combat ready. Thank you, Yuane. Yuane is the best. The fox girl turned so red, she looked like a cherry with ears. 3 tails wagging frantically behind her while she mumbled something about it being all master's credit. Adorable. Life-saving and adorable. Battlefield cleanup. Strip every naga. Scales, tridents. Everything goes back to the dwarven forge. Then I sent Tong and Ruoxue into the depths of the nest to loot the place down to the bare rock. While waiting, I opened world chat for the first time in a while. Same circus. Different clowns. Help. I can't damage these rock turtles. My 10 militia did 0 damage for 30 minutes. I'm going bankrupt. Some guy flexing his A-rank Beast King talent because he tamed a Tier 3 magic wolf. The chat was worshipping him like he'd invented fire. People begging to join him. Calling him a god. Tier 3 wolf. Singular. 1 wolf. I just killed 100 naga, a Tier 3 priestess, and I have a Tier 5 legendary dragon war god eating beast legs like chicken wings back home. But sure, buddy, flex your puppy. Then I saw Wang Ting's name again. Wang Tung destroyed another lord. Took all his female citizens. He's got nearly 100 Tier 3 Griffin Knights now. Blood Moon Forest is his territory. If you're nearby, just surrender, my catgirl citizens. I can't lose them. People were terrified of this guy. 100 Tier 3 Griffin Knights is intimidating. For people who don't have what I have. 100 Tier 3 units versus my Tier 5 legendary war god with an epic halberd, an invisible poison assassin, an SS-rank moon goddess, and a growing army with spirit water enhanced everything? I'll take those odds. Any day. Twice on Sundays. Wang Tung. Enjoy your little empire while it lasts. Master. Come look. Tong and Ruoxue burst out of the cave carrying a package wrapped in sea beast hide that was roughly the size of a small refrigerator. They dumped it open. Gold coins. Silver coins. Gemstones. Pearls. Dozens of glowing white pearls rolling across the rocks like nature's most expensive bouncy balls. The Naga were loaded. These snake women had been hoarding treasure like underwater dragons with shopping addictions. This single haul was worth more than my entire territory's resource stockpile. My girls were hyperventilating. We're rich. Actually rich. But my eyes had already locked onto something else in the pile. Something that made all the gold look like pocket change. A piece of wood. Half a meter long. Covered in natural water ripple patterns that glowed faint blue. Radiating magical energy so dense I could feel it through my fingertips. Rare material. Deep sea sunken wood. Tier 3. Mysterious timber grown miles beneath the ocean surface. Naturally infused with massive water elemental magic. Ideal material for crafting Tier 3 epic staves or bows. Bows. The word hit me like a thunderbolt. I turned to Ruoxue. She was standing right there, holding her day 1 Tier 3 common elven longbow. The same weapon I made with a single evolution point when I didn't know what I was doing. The universe just dropped a tier 3 epic bow material into a Naga treasure pile that I raided specifically to help Roashue. If this isn't destiny, then destiny doesn't exist and coincidence needs to start paying royalties. Roashue, yes, master. She stepped forward, trembling slightly. She could feel something coming. I held out the glowing blue wood. This is tier 3 epic grade bow material. It's yours. The dwarves will forge you a weapon that matches your skill. Her hands were shaking so badly, she almost dropped it. Those emerald eyes went glassy with tears for the second time in 2 days. 4. For me. Yesterday she thought she was obsolete. Finished. A trainer for rookies. Done. Today she was holding the raw material for a legendary weapon with her name on it. The bow is just the beginning, I said. Tomorrow we hit the Naga treasure vault. And after that, I'm evolving your potential until the system runs out of letters. I turned to face my entire battered, bloodied, treasure-laden, grinning army. Pack everything. We're going home. Tomorrow, we rob a vault. Yeowa, 30-something voices. One roar. The canyon shook. We marched out of that Naga graveyard loaded down with gold, gems, pearls, scales, tridents, epic crafting wood, and a treasure map leading to even more loot. 422 evolution points in the bank. An epic bow incoming for Roashue. A vault waiting to be cracked. And somewhere in Blood Moon Forest, Wang Tung was sitting on his griffin throne, thinking he was the biggest fish in the pond. He has no idea the pond just got a shark. Move out. We're going home. 30-something women roared like we just won the Super Bowl. My swordswomen grabbed Naga scales and tridents like they were shopping bags on Black Friday. Heavy, awkward, and absolutely worth it. Roashue was clutching that deep-sea sunken wood against her chest like a mother holding a newborn. She hadn't let go of it since I handed it over. I'm pretty sure she was whispering to it. I chose not to ask. We rolled back into territory looking like the world's most successful pirate crew. Filthy, exhausted, bleeding from 14 different places, and loaded with treasure. Lanchi saw us coming, and her brain short-circuited. WH. What? How? Then we dumped the loot. Crash. Gold coins. Silver coins. Gemstones in every color. Glowing pearls. All poured onto the warehouse floor in one magnificent avalanche of wealth. A literal mountain of treasure sparkling under the torchlight. The 2 halfling cooks saw the gold pile and nearly fainted. Their tiny bodies couldn't handle the excitement. One of them made a squeaking noise that I don't think was intentional. Lanchi, everything goes to treasury. You manage it. I tossed her the Naga priestess staff. Tier 2 fine quality. Her eyes went the size of dinner plates. A real staff? For me, she'd been running my entire domestic operation. Farming, building, logistics, personnel management. Using nothing but her priestess robes and sheer organizational talent. The woman basically ran my civilization with a clipboard and a smile. She deserved a weapon 3 chapters ago. Then I handed her the spirit field blueprint and a bottle of spirit spring water. Convert all farmland into spirit fields. Starting tomorrow, I want our food to be a weapon. Yes, master. She grabbed the blueprint like it was a college acceptance letter and sprinted toward the farms at midnight. Dwarfs. Thump, 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 thump. 2 bearded bowling balls came running, eyes locked on the glowing blue wood in my hands. Actual drool forming in their golden beards. Epic material. Another one. Lord, you must be the Forge God's illegitimate child. Less talking. More hammering. I want a tier 3 epic BOW. Done by tomorrow's sunset. Roashue decides the design. AY. They snatched the wood and bolted into the dwarven forge like 2 caffeinated groundhogs. The sound of hammering started before the door even closed. Roashue, supervise. This is your weapon. You decide how it looks, how it feels, how it shoots. Make it perfect. Her eyes were burning. Not with tears this time. With purpose. The defeated woman from yesterday was gone. In her place was an elf with a mission. Yes, master. She practically floated toward the forge. Late night. Territory alive with activity on every front. Lanchi counting gold with the halfling cooks in the warehouse. All 3 of them making excited noises every time they found a bigger gem. The forge screaming with hammer strikes as 2 manic dwarves attacked divine wood at 1 a.m. And the bathhouse. I dumped an entire bucket of diluted spirit spring water into the bath for my swordswomen. The results were audible. My wounds are closing. My bruises are gone. Does anyone else's skin feel like silk? I feel stronger. Like actually physically stronger. The spirit water was doing more than healing. It was upgrading them, improving their constitution in real time, smoothing skin, restoring energy, enhancing muscle. These girls went into the bath as exhausted, beaten-up soldiers and were coming out as refreshed, enhanced, slightly more powerful versions of themselves. This water is divine. Master gave us this. All of it. I love being his citizen. Sniffle, happy soldiers soaking in miracle water, praising my name between splashes. Best employee retention program in history. 0 turnover rate. Infinite loyalty. Eat your heart out, corporate HR. Midnight struck. Recruitment refreshed. I speed walked to the spring of life. I didn't need fighters. I didn't need craftsmen. I needed workers. People to farm spirit fields, mine iron, quarry stone, and keep my rapidly expanding economy from collapsing under its own growth. Recruit. 8 figures emerged. 6 tall, sturdy women in basic clothes. 1-tier female farmers. Exactly what I ordered. Strong arms. Can-do attitudes. Ready to dig, plant, harvest, and haul. The backbone of any real civilization. And then, the last 2. I blinked. 2 tiny girls, wearing black and white maid outfits. Short skirts showing a frankly unreasonable amount of pale thigh. And on their heads, long fluffy, snow-white, bunny ears. Behind them, little round cotton ball bunny tails. They were staring at me with enormous red gem eyes filled with tears, ears drooping, bodies trembling, looking like the most frightened, adorable things in the entire multiverse. Bunny-eared maids. Tier 1. Life class. Skills. Basic cleaning. Pastry baking. Beginner massage. Morale boost. Passive. Description. A race renowned for their gentleness, cuteness, and talent for service. Their presence significantly increases the Lord's happiness and territorial morale. The system gave me bunny girl maids. I stared at them. They stared at me. Their bunny ears quivered. Their lower lips trembled. Those red eyes glistened with unshed tears. White thighs shaking. They do have massage skills, and pastry baking, and a passive morale boost. These are strategic assets. Morale is a military resource. Massage prevents fatigue-related injuries. Pastries are carbohydrates essential for sustained combat operations. This is a completely rational recruitment outcome, and I refuse to be judged. I looked away from the trembling bunny maids, pulled out the Siren's Reef treasure map, and spread it across my desk. Tomorrow's mission was clear. Hit the treasure vault, farm. Massive evolution points from whatever guarded it. Evolve Ruashue's potential into the stratosphere, and equip her with the epic bow the dwarves were currently hammering into existence at ear-splitting volume. 422 evolution points in the bank. Epic weapons being forged. Spirit fields being planted. An army getting stronger every day through magical bath water and divine food. The curtain was about to rise on the biggest raid of my career. And somewhere out there, a vault full of ancient Naga treasure was sitting in the dark, totally unaware that the greediest, most overpowered lord on this continent was coming for it tomorrow with a dragon. Warrior, a poison assassin, a moon goddess, an elf sniper about to receive the weapon of her dreams, and a small army of beautiful women who would collectively fight God himself, if I asked nicely. Rest up, everyone. Tomorrow we rob the ocean. I leaned back in my chair, bunny maids trembling in the corner, forge hammering in the distance, gold glittering in the warehouse. This Lord life? I'm starting to think I was made for it. I woke up to the sound of something small and terrified breathing near my bed. And Master, are you awake? A tiny voice. Like a kitten learned to speak and immediately regretted it. I turned my head. One of the bunny maids was standing there holding a wash basin, trembling so hard the water was creating its own tide system. White rabbit ears drooping with anxiety. Red gem eyes the size of golf balls. Maid outfit still immaculate at. I checked. 5:47 a.m. This girl had been standing there waiting for me to wake up like a fluffy alarm clock powered by fear. The second our eyes met, she jumped so hard the entire basin of water dumped onto her own outfit. KYA, cold water. White maid dress. Immediately transparent. She looked down, realized the situation, panicked harder, crouched to clean the floor, and her already short skirt committed several violations of physics. "I'm sorry, master. I didn't mean to. Please don't." Tears. Actual tears forming. Over spilled water. "Just go get another basin." Why, yes, she fled the room like I'd set her on fire. Wet footprints. Funny tail bouncing. Maximum waddle speed. You know what? Her passive skill, morale boost, is real. Watching that disaster somehow made my morning 300% better. I can't explain it scientifically, but I don't need to. The system said it works, and the system was right. I walked outside, and my territory had transformed into organized chaos. The dwarven forge hadn't stopped once all night. Smoke pouring from the chimney like a factory during wartime. The hammering was so constant it had become background music. Those two bearded maniacs had been awake for, doing the math, approximately forever, and showed zero signs of stopping. Ruashue's bow was being born in there, forged by pure dwarven stubbornness and sleep deprivation. Over at the farmland, Lanchi was performing agricultural miracles. She held the Naga priestess staff, finally armed with an actual weapon instead of just vibes and prayers, and was dripping spirit spring water into freshly plowed soil. The dirt started glowing. Regular brown earth transformed into shimmering magical farmland right before everyone's eyes. The 6 new farmer women were losing their minds. The soil is alive. I can feel it breathing. They were scooping up handfuls of spirit-infused dirt and cradling it like it was gold. These women came from nothing, were recruited from a magical fountain 12 hours ago, and were already having religious experiences over enhanced soil. My territory turns normal people into fanatics at an alarming rate. I should be concerned, but I'm mostly proud. Training grounds. My 19 silver swordswomen were beating the absolute stuffing out of each other in morning drills. After yesterday's Naga bloodbath, they were training with a ferocity they didn't have before. Getting slapped around by snake women was apparently the best motivational seminar in existence. But, and this is where it gets beautiful, hanging on a rack nearby were freshly crafted Tier 2 swamp leather armor sets. Made from the black lizard scales we harvested, processed overnight by the dwarven forge between bowforging sessions. The most enthusiastic swordswoman, bless her zero-shame energy, ripped off her shredded silver chainmail right there on the training field. White undershirt soaked through with sweat, clinging to everything, hiding nothing. She grabbed the new black leather armor and pulled it on. It fit like a glove, tight, flexible, form-fitting. Every curve on display like a tactical fashion show. She jumped twice to test mobility, and her legs moved like springs. My defense doubled. This is amazing. Every other girl stampeded toward the armor rack. Within minutes, 19 women had stripped out of their destroyed silver mail and into sleek black battle leather. The transformation was dramatic. They went from beat-up medieval soldiers to elite special forces squad from an action movie where everyone happens to be gorgeous. I pulled up World Chat while surveying my empire. Day 4. Most lords were drowning. Day 4, and I haven't seen a single elite mob. My militia are starving. Anyone trade food for wood? Food is a strategic resource, bro. Just hand over your female citizens, and maybe someone will feed you. And then the big headline. Wang Tung demands 50% resource tax from all Blood Moon Forest lords. Pay by tomorrow sunset, or his Griffin Knight army destroys everything. Chat was in meltdown. This is tyranny. He has 100 Tier 3 Griffin Knights. What can we do? I'm going to submit. It's the only way to survive. Then one beautiful maniac. I'm Blade Master LISN. C-rank, Berserk talent. I'm going to fight his birds with my bare hands. Let's see who's faster. Respect to Li San. He's going to die horribly, but respect. Wang Tung. 100 Griffin Knights. Getting bolder every day. My territory was technically in his sphere of influence. Eventually he'd come knocking. I closed the chat with zero urgency. 100 Tier 3 units was scary for normal lords. For me it was a scheduling conflict. I'd deal with him after I finished evolving Ruashue, which was after I raided the treasure vault, which was after... A sound like God dropped an anvil from orbit shook the entire territory. A pillar of ocean blue light erupted from the dwarven forge chimney, so bright it outshone the actual sun. For about 3 seconds, my territory had 2 suns, and one of them was coming from a building full of screaming dwarves. My heart stopped. It's done. The forge. Doors exploded outward. Not opened. Exploded. And two lobster-red dwarf women tumbled out, smoking, half their beards singed off, looking like they'd been wrestling inside a supernova. But they were grinning. Grinning so wide their faces were more teeth than beard, and held above their heads, still radiating heat waves and magical resonance, a bow. The most beautiful weapon I have ever seen in my life. The body was pure, deep-sea sunken wood, natural blue-green grain flowing like frozen ocean waves. Water pattern runes pulsed along its length with a hypnotic glow. The bowstring was braided from Naga priestess sinew and moonlight essence, practically invisible, humming with stored energy. And embedded in the center grip, a tier 2 water magic core, throbbing with power like a tiny blue heart. This wasn't a weapon. This was a masterpiece. This was what happens when obsessed dwarf craftswomen pour their entire souls into wood that grew at the bottom of the ocean for 10,000 years. This was Ruoshue's new bow. And from the way the air itself seemed to bend around it, I could tell. This was going to change everything. The dwarves presented the bow, and the entire territory went silent. Oceanic Tidal Bow. Tier 3. Epic, purple. Attack, 180 to 240. Agility, 25. Spirit 20. Passive, Tidal Force. Every single arrow deals bonus water magic damage and has a 30% chance to slow the target. Active, Siren Song. Fires a special arrow that charms or terrifies all enemies in a 10 by 10 meter area for 3 seconds. Group, Crowd, Control. On a BOW. Every person present sucked air through their teeth simultaneously. It sounded like a snake convention. Ruoshue was vibrating, her whole body shaking. Those green eyes locked onto the bow like it was the Holy Grail, and she was the last knight standing. Her eyes went red. Not angry red. I'm about to cry, but I'm an elf warrior, so I'm fighting it red. Ruoshue, take your bow. I placed it in her hands. The second her fingers touched the grip, blue energy surged through her body. Water element magic flooding her veins, merging with her elven bloodline. The bow wasn't just a weapon, it was an extension of her, like it had been waiting for her at the bottom of the ocean for 1,000 years. Her B-rank potential didn't matter. With this bow, she was going to delete things from existence regardless of what letter the system assigned her. All heroes. Formation. All swordswomen. Swap TO swamp leather armor. Target. I pulled out the treasure map and pointed my sword east. Siren's Reef. Move out. The army surged forward like a blackened silver tide. 19 silver swordswomen led the charge, completely transformed in their new black lizard skin armor. They looked lethal, sleek, fast, dangerous. Gone were the bulky silver chainmail girls. These were predators now. 3 Xuanjia guards in the center protecting Yuan, who was clutching her staff and trying to look brave while her fox ears betrayed her nervousness by twitching at every forest sound. 6 female hunters on the flanks, scout formation, bows ready. And the heroes. The heroes. Pujuan carrying a 3-meter halberd on her shoulder like it weighed nothing, each footstep making the ground flinch. Tong completely invisible somewhere in the shadows. I couldn't see her, but I could feel the murder energy. And Ruoshue, standing on the highest vantage point, silver hair flowing, new epic bow gleaming with ocean blue light, staring toward the coast with eyes that said, I have waited for this moment, and I am going to make it count. 30 minutes of speed marching later, the smell hit us. Salt, fish, and something weird, sweet and hypnotic, like perfume designed by a predator. We're here, Ruoshue whispered, dropping from a tree. Everyone, hold your breath. Cover your ears. The fog is enchanted. Too late. A song drifted through the mist. Beautiful, ethereal, and absolutely weaponized. It slipped past my warning like butter through a screen door and went straight into everyone's brain. My 6 hunters went first. Eyes glazed over. Bows dropped. They started walking toward the fog like sleepwalkers heading for a cliff. Beautiful zombie mode. Their bodies just stopped obeying them. Even my tier 2 swordswomen wobbled. Legs going heavy. Eyes losing focus. Mental charm attack. Yuan. Why yes, poor Yuan was pale as paper, fox ears flattened, clearly fighting the enchantment herself. But she raised her staff anyway because that girl would cast spells during her own funeral if I asked. Moonlight cleanse, holy light, crashed down on the entire formation like a divine car wash for the soul. Every trace of charm magic got scrubbed out of every brain simultaneously. The hunters blinked, looked down, saw their feet one step from disappearing into enchanted death fog. What was I doing? I almost walked into that. Faces went white. Lesson learned. This place doesn't play fair. The singing stopped, replaced by angry hissing. The fog ripped open and 3 figures emerged onto the black rocks. Upper half, gorgeous women with wet blue hair and faces that could make poets cry. Completely topless. Just fully out there. No seashells this time. The ocean apparently doesn't believe in dress codes. Lower half, 4 to 5 meters of massive, glistening fish tail. Not snake, fish. These weren't naga. These were something else entirely. Siren singers. Tier 3. Elite. Level 10. Skills. Mental charm, water arrow, claw shred. Tier 3 elites. 3 of them. As the welcoming committee. Whatever was deeper inside this reef made these things look like doormen. Their vertical pupils locked onto me, the only male in the group, and their expressions went from angry to hungry. Another. 2-legged. Prey. A living. Male. Capture him. Offer him to the queen. They want to kidnap me as a gift for their queen. I am simultaneously flattered and terrified. 3 sirens launched off the rocks like torpedoes with claws. Bone tridents aimed directly at my chest. Speed that would make a cheetah feel inadequate. Pajuan stepped forward, halberd rising, and she froze. I looked at Ruashui. She was already moving. Bow rising. String drawing back. The water magic core in the bow's grip ignited with blue fire. Ruashui, they're yours. Her face went calm. Ice cold. The old Ruashui, the one who massacred 80 goblins on night 1, the one who never missed, the one who was born for this. She was back. She pulled the oceanic tidal bow to full draw. The bowstring hummed with contained apocalypse. A water element arrow materialized from pure magical energy, not wood and feather, but compressed ocean given the shape of death. Fire, thwum. The arrow screamed across the gap like a blue comet, trailing mist and fury. The first water arrow hit the lead siren square in the chest. Minus 295. Magic damage. A hole appeared where cleavage used to be. The siren screamed. Then the slow debuff kicked in, tidal force passive, and she was moving through air like it was syrup. Ruashue's eyes went feral. 3 arrows in 1 second. The bow was singing, literally humming with each shot like it was enjoying this. Minus 290. Minus 288. Minus 410 crit. The slowed siren got turned into a pincushion in under 2 seconds. She collapsed into a puddle of her own blood without even reaching us. Tier 3 elite siren killed. 30 evolution points. The other 2 sirens panicked and tried to dive underwater. Too slow. Tong materialized behind both of them simultaneously. I don't understand the physics of this, and I've stopped trying. Daggers already mid-swing. Poison shadow flash. Minus 488. Minus 479. Both sirens froze. Looked down at their chests. Looked confused. Then 5 stacks of swamp venom started ticking. Minus 85. Minus 85. Minus 85. Minus 85. Minus 85. Their beautiful faces turned black-green in about 1.5 seconds. They collapsed like someone hit their off switch. Didn't even get to scream. 2 more tier 3 elites. 60 points. 3 elite sentries. Deleted in under 10 seconds by 2 women with epic weapons who were showing OFF. Total evolution points, 512. Getting closer. Not there yet. SSS-rank. A shriek erupted from deep inside the reef that made the 3 dead sirens sound like whispers. Pure rage. Pure power. The ocean itself flinched. Kill them. Kill the landwalkers who dare enter the Queen's domain. The water exploded. 10 sirens surfaced. Then 20. Then 50. From every tide pool, every crack in the reef, every shadow beneath the waves. 50 tier 3 elite sirens, all wet, all angry, all armed, surrounding us from every direction. And in the center of this army, riding a massive grotesque sea beast, wielding a golden trident that radiated enough magical pressure to make the air taste like metal, Siren Queen. Tier 4. Boss. Tier 4. The highest tier enemy I'd ever encountered. Higher than any goblin chief, kobold geomancer, or swamp lord. This wasn't a mini-boss guarding a mine. This was a raid boss guarding an underwater kingdom. Then the 50 sirens did something that nearly ended everything. They all sang. At once. 50 voices. One harmonized mental assault. A psychic tidal wave of enchantment that hit my entire army like a spiritual nuclear bomb. My 6 hunters went down instantly. Eyes glazed. Weapons dropped. Started walking toward the ocean like mindless dolls being pulled on strings. My swordswomen, even at level 5, even enhanced by spirit water, even with boosted mental resistance, they buckled. Legs going weak. Eyes losing focus. Bodies betraying their owners. I can't move. The music. So beautiful. Even Yuane, my SS-rank moon goddess with 25 spirit, was crumbling. Her face went ghost white. Blood started seeping from her fox ears. The mental pressure was crushing her. The Siren Queen laughed. Cold, cruel, delighted. Pathetic landwalkers. Crawl to your deaths. Not today, fish lady. Yuane. Moonlight cleanse. Scream them awake. The fox girl bit her own tongue. Pain jolted through the charm like lightning through fog. She raised her staff with shaking arms and detonated her remaining spirit energy. Moonlight cleanse. Holy light smashed through the enchantment like a wrecking ball through glass. Every glazed eye snapped back to focus. Every puppet-walked soldier stumbled and caught herself. I'm back. What just happened to me? The queen's smile vanished, replaced with fury. You dare? Feel the ocean's wrath. Deep sea tempest. She raised her golden trident, and the entire ocean behind her reared up. A wave 10 meters tall, crackling with magical energy, rose like a living wall of death and slammed forward. My girls looked up at a tsunami about to erase them from existence. We're dead. No, we're not. Defensive positions. I locked eyes with my 3 heroes. Pujuan. Tom. Ruashue. The queen. Go. Ruashue moved first. She raised the oceanic tidal bow. The water magic core ignited. The bowstring screamed with power. Siren's song activated. A single arrow launched into the center of the 50 siren formation and detonated into a wave of pure psychic terror. The siren's own weapon turned against them. 50 elite sea monsters who had just been singing death suddenly heard something that made them afraid. Their faces twisted. Their voices choked. They scrambled backward, clawing over each other, breaking formation. 3 seconds of mass fear. All enemies' spellcasting interrupted. The tsunami lost its magic, collapsed back into regular water, crashed harmlessly against the rocks. Toxic earth spikes. Pujuan was already mid-slam. Her epic halberd drove into the ground like a divine jackhammer. Boom. Poisonous stone spikes erupted beneath the panicking, fear-locked sirens. Minus 760. Minus 775. A dozen sirens got skewered while still frozen in terror. Bodies jerking on stone spikes like the world's most gruesome kebabs. Instant death. 12 tier. 3 elites erased in 1 ability. The queen saw her army getting shredded and lost her composure entirely. She abandoned the tidal spell and pointed her golden trident at Ruashue. I'll kill you first, insect. Your fight is with me. Dragon God's Wrath. Activated. Pujuan's gold-red aura erupted. She rocketed toward the queen like a burning meteor with a halberd. And me. A whisper. From directly behind the queen. Tong was already there. Materialized from nothing. Green daggers drawn. Aimed at the queen's completely unguarded back. Poison shadow flash. 2 blades. 1 royal spine. 0 mercy. The queen tried to block Tong's backstab with her trident. Clang. And opened her mouth to trash talk. Foolish assassin, you. Boom. She forgot about Pujuan. Rookie mistake. The dragon horn prison breaker halberd crashed into the queen's chest with armor-piercing force, while she was busy looking the wrong direction. Minus 1080. A wound so deep you could see bone opened across her chest. Blood everywhere. The queen screamed like someone stepped on a cat made of nightmares. Ruashue. Now, Ruashue was already locked on. Bow drawn. Eyes cold as Arctic death. She threaded an arrow straight into the open wound. Minus 315. Magic damage. Slow applied. An arrow. Inside. The wound. lodged in her internal organs. And now she was moving in slow motion. The Tier 4 boss was a sitting duck who happened to be a fish. Finish her. Pujuan and Tong turned into twin tornadoes of destruction, one purple, one green, absolutely shredding the slowed queen from both sides simultaneously. Minus 980. Minus 390. Minus 85 poison. Minus 910. Minus 85 poison. Minus 85 poison. The numbers were cascading. Poison ticking. Halberd cleaving. Daggers slicing. 3 seconds of concentrated violence, so intense the ocean itself looked away. The Tier 4 Siren Queen, ancient ruler of the deep, commander of 50 elite warriors, wielder of golden weapons, got demolished in less time than it takes to microwave popcorn. Tier 4 boss killed. 400 evolution points. Then my swordswomen cleaned up the remaining shell-shocked sirens like a pack of silver wolves descending on confused sheep. Total battle haul, 1,650 evolution points. Grand total, 2,512 points. My hands were shaking, not from fear, from the absolute enormity of what I was about to do. 3 loot items dropped from the queen's corpse. Item 1, her golden trident. Tier 4, fine quality. An actual royal weapon just lying in the sand like somebody dropped their car keys. Item 2, Siren's Heart. Rare special item. Can be used for enchanting or building upgrades. Filed under, stupidly valuable. Will use later. Item 3, 100 soul crystals. I read the description and my brain broke. Soul crystals. Highly concentrated spiritual energy from deceased beings. Required material for heroes to break through tier barriers. This is how heroes advance to higher tiers. This is the key. 100 of them. Dropped from a single boss. I'd been wondering how to push my heroes past their current caps, and the answer was sitting in a dead fish queen's pocket the whole time. But I didn't care about hero advancement right now. I cared about one thing. I turned to Ruoshui. She was standing there, panting, silver hair windswept, epic bow still humming with residual energy, looking like a warrior goddess who'd just passed her final exam. System. Calculate evolution cost. Ruoshui. From B rank to S rank. How much? B rank, A rank. 500 points. A rank, S rank. 2,000 points. Total. 2,500 points. I had 2,512. 12 points to spare. The tightest budget of my entire career, and I had exactly enough. The universe was cutting it so close I could hear it laughing. You were my first hero, I said, staring directly into Ruoshui's wide, emerald eyes. There are no weak links in my army. Only gods. I slammed my hand onto her shoulder. System. Evolve. Straight to S rank. Do it all at once. Confirmed. Consuming 2,500 evolution points. Continuous evolution initiated. Kaboom. A pillar of light. Green and gold merged together, slammed down from the heavens, and swallowed Ruoshui whole. This wasn't a normal evolution glow. This was a biblical event. The sky changed color. The ground shook. The ocean retreated from the shore like it was scared. Ruoshui screamed. Not pain, not pleasure. Both. Her blood was on fire. Her DNA was being rewritten. Her entire biological existence was getting a firmware update from the gods. Then her bow reacted. The oceanic tidal bow started vibrating in her hands, glowing blue, so bright it was almost white. The S-rank evolution energy was resonating with the epic weapon like 2 tuning forks hitting the same impossible frequency. S-rank evolution energy detected. Resonating with epic weapon oceanic tidal bow. Mutation triggered. The bow and the evolution fused. Gold light and blue light collided in a detonation that knocked everyone within 30 meters onto their backs. A shockwave of pure power rolled across the entire reef. Ruoshui's clothes? Gone. Vaporized. Didn't even last 1 second against that energy output. Her entire perfect form was on display. Silver hair whipping wildly. Body glowing gold and blue. Every feature being refined, enhanced, perfected in real time. Pujuan was staring with her jaw on the floor. Her golden dragon eyes were tracking the power readings, and even SHE looked shocked. The woman who punches Tier 3 bosses for fun was watching Ruoshui's energy levels climb past ranges she recognized. S-rank. S-rank peak. Then boom. Mutation successful. Hero Roashue's potential has broken through to SS rank. Race mutation. Elf descendant evolved into. Oceanic moon spirit, SS rank race. Talent evolved. Nature affinity, B rank. Title I, S rank. SS rank. Not S. Not high S, double S. She went from B rank, the lowest hero in my roster, past A, past S, and blew through to SS in one continuous evolution that mutated halfway through because her epic bow decided to join the party. She wasn't just upgraded. She was reborn. New race. New talent. New everything. The girl who sat alone drinking soup yesterday, thinking she was obsolete, just got catapulted past nearly every hero on the continent. I promised her S rank. I delivered SS. 12 evolution points remaining. Every single one of the other 2,500 was worth it. Roashue, welcome back to the front line. The light faded and Roashue was floating. Actually floating. Suspended in the air like gravity filed a restraining order, and she was legally exempt. And she was different. Very different. Her body had filled out, going from slim elf archer to curves that could cause traffic accidents in any dimension. Her skin was glowing with actual moonlight and water ripples flowing across it like living tattoos. Silver hair everywhere, strategically covering exactly enough to be technically not completely scandalous. Then she opened her eyes. Not green anymore. Ocean blue. Vertical slit pupils containing what looked like an entire galaxy drowning in the deep sea. Looking into those eyes felt like staring into the Mariana Trench if the Mariana Trench stared back. I pulled up her stats, and my soul temporarily vacated my body. Race, Oceanic Moon Spirit, SS rank. Talent, Title I, S rank. All attacks deal bonus water magic damage. Attack range increased by 500%. In areas with water, vision ignores all obstacles, and range gets another 500% bonus. 500% range. She can shoot things from so far away the target won't know archery exists. Put her near a river, and she basically becomes an orbital weapons platform with a bow. She'll be sniping enemies from the next zip code. She went from B rank, the team's weakest link, to SS rank. Double S, same tier as Yuane's mutated fox goddess form. The girl who was drinking soup alone thinking she was finished is now one of the most powerful ranged units on the entire continent. Master. She was looking at her hands, then at her upgraded situation, then at me. Those blue slit pupils filled with approximately 17 emotions at once. I threw my cloak around her before the situation got any more atmospheric. Welcome back, she tackled me. Full body hug, face buried in my chest. Shaking, not crying, past crying. This was the full system emotional shutdown of a woman who went from abandoned to ascended in 48 hours. Master. Boom. The treasure map, which I'd honestly forgotten about, spontaneously combusted on the ground, shot a golden beam of light toward the Eastern Ocean, and basically screamed, "Hey, the treasure is this way. Hurry up." Even ancient pirate maps are impatient in this world. Roashue. Time to level up. I had 100 soul crystals from the queen. Roashue met the advancement requirements. Simple math. I released the crystals. They dissolved into a river of starlight that flowed into her body. 100 soul crystals consumed. Advancement successful. Hero Roashue advanced to Tier 4. New skills unlocked. Soul Chasing Water Arrow. Oceanic Arrow Rain. Light faded. My cloak fell away. And underneath, she didn't need clothes anymore because the universe had dressed her. An energy armor made of condensed moonlight and living water had materialized on her body. 2 crescent moon chest plates. A battle skirt made of flowing water energy that was aggressively short. Legs fully on display, and what legs they were now. Mile long, perfect, glowing with divine light. I opened her combat stats and my jaw cramped from hanging open too long. Class, Tier 4 Title Ranger Skill 1. Soul Chasing Water Arrow. Fires a homing arrow that cannot miss. Deals 250% agility scaling as magic damage. Applies slow. Cannot miss. A lock-on missile disguised as an arrow. Skill 2. Oceanic Arrow Rain. Blankets a 50 by 50 meter area with 5 seconds of continuous arrow bombardment. Every second deals 100% agility scaling water damage to everything in the zone. That's a 2,500 square meter death zone. She can activate at will. Skill 3. Siren Song. Group charm/fear for 3 seconds. From the bow. She has a homing missile, an airstrike, and crowd control. On one character. With 500% enhanced range. Near water. This woman could sit on a beach and delete an army she couldn't even see. Master. Her blue eyes were vibrating with power. I feel like I could shoot through the sky. Good. Start with whatever's in that treasure vault. All units, move out. Target. The vault. We marched. And for the first time since her evolution, Roashue took point. Let's scout. First position. Right where she belonged. Her title, I was terrifying in practice. Master. Poison mushroom field, 3 clicks left, avoided. Master. 5 dire wolves patrolling right flank. Marked. Master. Ambush point ahead. Cleared. She was seeing everything. Through trees. Through hills. Through FOG. Her S-rank vision talent turned the entire dark forest into a transparent map that only she and I could read. Nothing could hide. Nothing could surprise us. We had a living radar system leading our army, and she happened to also be a walking artillery battery. While marching, I opened World Chat one more time, and immediately wished I hadn't. Pinned at the top in blood-red text, a screenshot from Wang Tung's Soaring Dragon Guild. A lord named Blademaster Li San, the brave C-rank maniac who said he'd fight Griffin Knights with his bare hands, was dead, pinned to his own territory core by 5 Griffin lances, like a bug on a corkboard. Li San talked big. Li San walked the walk. Li San died. Wang Ting didn't just kill him. He displayed him. Posted the picture as a warning. 100 tier, 3 Griffin Knights enforcing one man's ego across the entire Blood Moon forest. The chat was in full panic mode. And here I was, marching toward a treasure vault with a tier 5 Dragon War God, a tier 4 SS-rank Ocean Sniper, a tier 3 SS-rank Moon Goddess, a tier 3 Poison Assassin, 19 upgraded swordswomen, and evolution points regenerating faster than I could spend them. Wang Tung killed one brave idiot and thought he was king. He has no idea that the real apex predator on this continent just finished evolving its teeth. Keep posting your screenshots, Wang Tung. Enjoy the view from your Griffin throne. Because I'm coming. And when I arrive, I won't be posting screenshots. I'll be posting your resignation letter. Wang Ting posted a screenshot of a dead man pinned to his own territory core with Griffin lances. Like a butterfly in a serial killer's collection. The caption was basically, submit or die. 12 hours left. World Chat went from panicking to funeral. He actually killed someone. On day 4, Li San. I traded with him yesterday. He's just gone. I surrender. Take my cat girls. Take everything. Please. Brave, stupid Li San. Charged Griffin Knights with a C-rank berserk talent and exactly 0 survival instincts. Rest in peace, you beautiful maniac. You had more courage than sense, and the universe punished you for it. I stared at the screenshot. My blood went cold. Not scared. Angry. Wang Ting wasn't just conquering. He was terrorizing. Demanding women as tribute. Publicly executing anyone who resisted. Day 4, and he was already running a protection racket with air cavalry. I closed the chat without a word. Filed, Wang Tung, under, problems I'm going to enjoy solving. Master. We're approaching Siren's Reef, but something's wrong. Roashue's voice cut through my thoughts like a blade. Her new title eye, the S-rank vision that sees through everything, was being suppressed by the fog ahead. If something can block an S-rank perception talent, we were walking into something way bigger than expected. All stop. Defensive positions. We froze. 30-something warriors going perfectly still in half a second. Good discipline. Then, SSS-rank, a shriek from above. So sharp it felt like someone jabbed needles into my eardrums through my skull. Above US, Tong reacted first. Cat reflexes. Head snapping upward, pupils contracting to pinpoints. 3 shadows dive-bombed out of the fog at terminal velocity. Storm Harpy. Tier 3. Elite. Level 12. Skills. Sonic Dive. Featherblade Storm. These things were fast. Not quick, fast. Bullet fast. Woman shaped from the waist up, massive black wings. Razor talons that could shred steel. And their targets? My 6th tier, 1 female hunters. The weakest members of the squad. The ones who couldn't fight back. 6 girls got snatched. Talons sinking into shoulders. Bodies yanked off the ground. 6 pairs of white legs kicking helplessly in the air as 3 harpies carried 2 girls each, screaming and crying, ascending back into the fog. Get back here! Pajuan launched upward, halberd swinging with enough force to split the atmosphere. The lead harpy laughed. An ugly bird cackle. Her wings blurred with sonic dive, and she literally outran Pajuan's strike at point-blank range. Dodged a tear. 5 legendary heroes attack, through pure speed. Too fast. Pajuan landed, furious, chest heaving. Her face said, I am going to find your nest and burn it. Ywain fired a moon arrow. A harpy deflected it with a wing feather. Casually, like swatting a fly. 3 tier. 3 elites were about to escape with 6 of my citizens, and nothing was working, going somewhere. That voice. Ice and ocean. Absolute zero temperature in vocal form. Ruashue. She raised the oceanic tidal bow. Slowly, deliberately. Those new blue slit pupils activated. Tidal eye, engaged. The fog became transparent. Every harpy visible. Every wing beat tracked. Every flight trajectory calculated. She wasn't just seeing them. She was seeing 0.5 seconds into the future of their movement patterns. Master. Weak point. 3rd feather on the right wing. Their flight paths converge in 0.5 seconds. Her voice was a computer readout delivered in the tone of a woman who was about to ruin someone's day. Oceanic arrow rain. She released the string. No arrow flew out. Instead, a blue light shot straight up into the sky and detonated above the fog. Then it started raining. Not water. Arrows. Thousands of water energy arrows falling across a 50 by 50 meter kill zone like the sky decided to become a blender. SCRE. SCREA. The 3 harpies, elite tier, 3 monsters who'd just outsped a dragon war god, had absolutely nowhere to go. The entire sky was death. Every direction was arrows. They were trapped in a 3-dimensional shooting gallery, and Ruashue was the only one with quarters. Minus 280. Minus 285. Minus 410 crit. Minus 288. Minus 280. Minus 285. Numbers pouring out of them like a broken slot machine. Their feathers shredded. Their wings tore apart. Their grip on my hunters failed. 6 screaming girls plummeted from the sky, and my swordswomen were already positioned below, arms open, catching them like the world's most intense trust fall exercise. The 3 harpies? 5 seconds of arrow rain. That's all it took. When the rain stopped, there wasn't enough left of them to fill a pillow. 3 tier. 3 elites reduced to confetti. 3 tier. 3 elites killed by Ruashue. 120 evolution points. Ruashue leveled to 8. The entire squad went silent. Pajuan, the woman who punches tier 4 bosses, was standing there with her halberd hanging loose, mouth open, staring at Ruashue like she'd just witnessed a miracle performed by someone she'd previously considered a benchwarmer. Tong's daggers were lowered. Her cat eyes were round. Maximum shock. Ywain was hugging her staff with both arms, fox ears standing straight up, 3 tails fully puffed, looking at Ruashue like, Big Sister just went crazy. 1 skill. 1 activation. 3 dead elites that nobody else could even touch. This is what an SS-rank title ranger with an epic bow and S-rank vision looks like when she stops holding back. I was grinning. Ear to ear. The investment paid OFF. Every evolution point, every tier, every moment of guilt about neglecting her, all of it redeemed in 5 seconds of aquatic carpet bombing. Then the fog did something terrifying. SSS. A scream from the deep fog that made the 3 dead harpies sound like songbirds. The air pressure changed. My ears popped. The fog didn't just part. It got blasted away by hurricane-force winds. And sitting on top of the tallest reef spire, slowly spreading wings that blocked out a significant portion of the sky, Golden Harpy Queen. Tier 4. Boss. 10 meters tall. Covered in golden feathers that gleamed like actual precious metal. Wings so wide they cast shadows across the entire battlefield. She looked down at the remains of her 3 elite guards. Then she looked at Ruashue. Then she looked at me. Her golden eyes burned with a fury that could melt glaciers. Another tier 4 boss. Our second one today, and this one could fly. I looked at Ruashue. She already had an arrow knocked. Blue eyes glowing like twin searchlights. I looked at Pajuan. Dragon aura already rising. Halberd raised. I looked at Tong. Already gone. vanished into whatever shadow a catgirl assassin can find on a sunny beach. Well, I said, cracking my neck. At least this one delivers herself. The golden harpy queen looked down at the shredded remains of her 3 elite guards, and her face went from beautiful to I will personally end your entire species. You insects killed my sentries. Her voice could have frozen lava. Boom. Golden wind pressure exploded from her body. The ocean itself got pushed down a full meter. My swordswomen couldn't even stand. 19 girls hitting the sand like someone turned up gravity to maximum. Even my Xuanjia guards were getting their tower shields pressed into the ground like tent stakes. This wasn't like the Siren Queen. This thing was stronger. Level 13. Faster, meaner, and radiating the kind of power that makes your survival instincts write a resignation letter. Featherblade Storm, she flapped once. 100 golden feathers, razor-sharp, metal-hard, glowing with killing intent, launched downward like the world's most beautiful machine gun. Every single feather could punch through steel. 100 of them aimed at my paralyzed swordswomen who couldn't even lift their swords. We're dead. I saw the despair on their faces. Real despair. I'm going to die on a beach covered in bird feathers, kind. Then a tiny fox girl stepped in front of the entire army. Fox fire shield. 3 white flames erupted from Yuan's tails and merged into a translucent barrier. She was shaking, face white. SS-rank spirit stat pushed to absolute maximum capacity. Blood leaked from the corner of her mouth. Ting, 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 ting. 100 golden feather blades hammered into that shield like a golden hailstorm. Sparks everywhere, each impact making Yuan's small body jolt backward. She held it. Every single feather. 1 girl. 1 shield. Against a tier 4 boss's AoE attack. The queen's golden eyes went wide with surprise. Then greed. Your soul. I want it. She wound up for round 2. Not today, bird lady. Pujuan went vertical. Dragon God's wrath wasn't active yet. She was saving it. But raw dragon-blooded fury carried her skyward like an angry red comet. Armor break. The prison breaker halberd met the queen's claws in midair. Clong. The shockwave rattled my teeth from 50 meters away. Pujuan's arms went numb from the impact. This queen was hitting harder than anything she'd fought before. The damage number that popped up was not great. This boss had serious defense. Your strength is acceptable, the queen said, like she was reviewing a job application. While they were locked in aerial combat, soul-chasing water arrow, a blue streak of light screamed across the battlefield from below. Ruoshue's new skill. The one that cannot miss. The queen saw it coming. Tried to dodge. Her body refused. Some invisible force had her locked in place like she was glued to the sky. The arrow's homing function was absolute. There is no dodge. There is no block. There is only get hit. Impossible. Splurch. Minus 2,250. Magic damage. A hole the size of a dinner plate appeared in the queen's chest. Blood fountained out like someone opened a fire hydrant full of bad decisions. Slow applied. The queen's movements turned to syrup. Her wings beat at half speed. Her reactions dragged. She was a tier 4 boss moving in slow motion against 4 heroes who were very much not in slow motion. Everyone. Now, Pujuan was already activating. Dragon God's Wrath. Gold-red explosion. S-rank talent at full power. All stats 50%. Total CC immunity. 1 minute of unlimited dragon violence. She kicked off a reef so hard the rock cracked beneath her feet, launched at the slowed queen, and delivered 3 consecutive halberd thrusts so fast they blurred into a single motion. Minus 2,820. Minus 2,855. Minus 2,870. The queen's supposedly impenetrable golden body was getting shredded. Each hit punching through her defense with armor break passive. Blood spraying in arcs with every strike. Moon arrow, Yuan, still bleeding from her mouth, still pale, still standing because she's the toughest tiny fox girl on this planet. Fired a silver bolt directly into the queen's existing chest wound. Magic damage stacking on top of physical damage. Salt in a very large wound. One more. Cold voice. Behind the queen. Tong was there. Of course she was. Materialized from a shadow that shouldn't exist on a sunlit beach because shadows bend the rules for her. Poison shadow flash. Twin daggers plunged into the queen's unprotected back. 5 stacks of swamp venom. Then 2 more from passive. Minus 85. 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 7 poison ticks per second eating through a tier 4 boss's health bar while she's simultaneously being halberd stabbed from the front, arrow sniped from below, and magic blasted by a fox girl. The queen was getting hit by everything from every direction. This wasn't a boss fight anymore. It was a 4-person execution performed by women who were personally offended that this bird tried to steal their teammates. Enough! The queen screamed with such force the air itself rippled. Golden Sanctuary. Her wings spread wide and generated a hurricane so violent it created an impenetrable wind barrier around her entire body. A panic shield. A desperation move. Pujuan's halberd bounced off it. Tong's daggers couldn't penetrate. Yuan's moon arrow deflected sideways. Everything stopped. The queen floated inside her golden wind cocoon, bleeding, poisoned, furious, but temporarily untouchable. My 4 heroes surrounded her from 4 different angles. Pujuan seething with dragon rage. Tong calmly repositioning. Yuan charging another spell. And Ruoshui, already drawing her bow again, blue eyes calculating, seeing through the wind barrier like it was made of glass. The queen thinks she's safe in there. She has no idea that safe stopped being an option the moment she messed with my people. She's healing in there, Pujuan screamed, face red with fury. Her halberd couldn't reach through the wind barrier. Tong's daggers bounced off. Yuan's arrows deflected. The queen was sitting inside her golden tornado cocoon like a bird in a luxury spa, probably sipping metaphysical tea while her health bar crept back up. Flying bosses are the worst. All my ground-based murder strategies suddenly become yelling angrily at the sky strategies. But I had 1 card left. The card I'd spent 2,500 evolution points to create. Ruoshui. Siren's Song. She was already drawn. Already locked. Those SS-rank blue slit pupils burning like twin oceans on fire. Phoom. The bow released a sound that wasn't an arrow. It was a psychic bomb. Ancient ocean magic compressed into a single note that hit the Golden Sanctuary barrier and punched straight through it like it was made of tissue paper. The queen's face went from smug recovery to maximum terror in a heartbeat. 3 seconds of fear. Her wind barrier stuttered. Now, Pujuan and Tong moved like they'd rehearsed this in a past life. Dragon Fong, Shatter the Stars, Toxic Death Dance, 1 gold-red meteor, 1 green death spiral, 2 epic weapons targeting the exact crack in the wind wall at the exact same millisecond. Boom. Minus 4,780. Critical. Armor break. Weakness hit. The wind storm died. Just stopped. Like someone unplugged the universe. The golden harpy queen hung frozen in the air. Slowly looked down at her chest. 2 massive holes where her vital organs used to be. Both punched clean through by a halberd and twin daggers working in perfect synchronized destruction. You. She had time for exactly 2 words of disbelief. Then she exploded into a million golden light particles like the world's most dramatic firework. Tier 4 boss killed. 500 evolution points. Pujuan leveled to 9. Tong leveled to 8. Ruoshui leveled to 8. Yuan leveled to 7. All swordswomen, guards, and hunters gained massive experience. Golden upgrade light was firing off across my entire army like a chain of flash grenades. Everyone leveling simultaneously. The beach looked like a rave hosted by the gods. 3 loot items materialized from the golden dust. Loot 1. Queen's Golden Claws, Epic Gauntlets. Tier 4. Attack, 190 to 260. Strength, 30. Agility, 40. Active skill, Golden Shred. Next attack deals 300% physical damage and applies bleed. Epic Fist Weapons. Absolutely monstrous stats. Problem: nobody in my army fights with their fists. Every single one of my warriors uses swords, spears, bows, daggers, or magic. I have 0 martial artists, 0 brawlers, 0 punchy people. It's like finding a Ferrari key when you don't have a garage. Incredible item with 0 immediate users. Filed under, recruit a monk or fighter immediately. Loot 2. Rare building blueprint. Tier 3 Harpy Nest. I read the description and my brain went to the moon. Build a harpy nest on a cliff. Produces 2 tier, 3 storm harpies per day. For free. Flying units. An air force. Daily production. I've been fighting exclusively on the ground this entire time. My army has legs. That's it. Legs and the ability to walk forward into things and stab them. But with this nest, I get sky power, aerial recon, airstrikes, dive attacks, 3-dimensional warfare. Wang Ting thinks he's special because he has Griffin Knights? I'm about to have my own air force, and mine produces itself automatically while I sleep. Learn the blueprint immediately. Loot 3. Key to the treasure vault. Golden key. Glowing with ancient energy. The reason we came here. The final piece of the puzzle. My girls were groaning on the ground, battered, bruised, one with a broken leg. So Yuan went into maximum healing mode. Moonlight pouring onto wounded soldiers one by one. Green numbers floating. Bones resetting. Flesh knitting. The fox girl was running a battlefield hospital by herself, while bleeding from her own mouth from the shield she held earlier. This girl blocked a tier 4 boss AoE with 3 fox fires, and is now healing 19 patients without complaint. Someone give her a medal. Give her 10 medals. Everyone who can't walk, rest here. Strip every harpy corpse. Those feathers and claws are tier 3 rare materials. Heroes, with me. I walked to the center of Siren's Reef where a massive whirlpool was slowly spinning. Dark, deep, radiating, don't come in here, energy from every water molecule. Yuan's face went pale. Master, this looks dangerous. Hold on. I grabbed Ruoxue and Yuan by their waists, 1 arm each, very lordly, very secure, and felt Pujuan and Tong latch onto my arms from either side. 5 people, 1 cluster, 0 hesitation. I threw the golden key into the whirlpool. Flash. The spinning stopped. The water parted. A staircase appeared, descending into darkness beneath the ocean floor. Ancient stone steps leading down into whatever vault the sirens and harpies had been guarding with their lives. 5 people stared into the abyss. The abyss stared back. Let's go. I jumped. 4 women jumped with me. 5 bodies plunging down wet stone stairs into an underwater treasure vault that hadn't been opened in who knows how many centuries. Evolution points, 512 and climbing. An epic gauntlet with no owner. A harpy nest blueprint about to give me an air force. And somewhere at the bottom of these stairs, a treasure hoard big enough to make everything I've found so far look like loose change in a couch cushion. Day 4 isn't even over and I've killed 2 tier 4 bosses, evolved Ruoxue into a goddess, acquired Air Force technology, and I'm currently diving into a pirate vault with 4 of the most powerful women on the continent hanging off me like I'm a human elevator going down. Wang Tung is posting screenshots of dead men and demanding tribute. I'm raiding mythological treasure vaults for fun. We are not the same. Down the stairs. Into the dark. 4 women clinging to me like I was a human life raft descending into Davy Jones's personal storage unit. Then the tunnel opened up and every single one of us forgot how to breathe. A palace. An entire underwater palace made of crystal and coral, stretching out in every direction like someone built a cathedral at the bottom of the ocean and then filled it with money. Gold coins piled in mountains. Gemstones scattered like candy. Pearls rolling around on the floor like nobody even bothered to pick them up. This made the Naga Nest Hall look like loose change found in a couch. This was 10 times more treasure than everything I'd collected since day 1 combined. Pujuan's eyes literally became gold coins. I could see the cartoon dollar signs replacing her pupils in real time. Master, can we retire now? Focus, you gold-obsessed dragon woman, because my eyes had already locked onto the 2 items in the center of the palace that made all the gold look like decoration. Item 1, Wonder Blueprint Fragment, Sky City, 1 of 10, my brain stalled. A wonder. A legendary wonder building, like the kind of thing civilizations build once every 1,000 years. Sky City, just the name made my ambition glands explode. And this was just 1 piece out of 10. But even this single fragment had an effect. Stored in my territory core, and all friendly units get 1% to all stats, plus permanent 10 morale. Territory-wide. Permanent. From 1 fragment. Collect all 10. Unexpected effects will trigger. The system was being deliberately mysterious, which means the reward is so broken they don't want to spoil it. I am now a man on a quest. 9 more fragments are out there somewhere on this continent, and I will find every single one of them if I have to flip the entire landmass upside down. Item 2. S-rank hero summoning token. I stared at it. It stared back. Golden light pulsing like a heartbeat. One use. Summon a random S-rank potential hero. Guaranteed. I already have Pujuan, S-rank, Tong, S-rank, Ruoxue, SS-rank, and Yuan, SS-rank. For heroes, each one capable of soloing armies. And now I'm about to add a fifth. Ha ha ha, I laughed. Couldn't stop. Standing in an underwater crystal palace surrounded by mountains of gold, holding a legendary wonder fragment in one hand and an S-rank hero token in the other, with 4 of the most powerful women on the continent watching me lose my mind. Wang Tung, A-rank talent, 100 tier, 3 Griffin Knights? That's what you're threatening people with. I was cackling. Against my lineup? You're bringing a bicycle to a fighter jet competition. Everyone, grab everything. We're going home. Tonight we add hero number 5. We swept that vault clean. Not a single coin left on the floor. The Crystal Palace looked like a crime scene where the crime was aggressive looting by an overpowered maniac and his beautiful entourage, back at base, standing in front of the spring of life. For heroes flanking me, the entire territory watching. Doing it now? Yuan asked, fox ears perked with curiosity. Right now? I crushed the summoning token in my fist. Kaboom! A golden pillar of light punched through the spring of life, through the sky, through the clouds, and tore a hole in the heavens so big you could see stars through it. In daytime, the pressure wave knocked people off their feet. Yuan's fox ears flattened. Tong materialized from her shadow just to stare with wide eyes. Even Pujuan went quiet for half a second, and then immediately started grinning like a predator scenting prey. Another fighter. HA. Inside the light, a silhouette formed. Tall, powerful, radiating holiness and violence in equal measure, which is a very specific combination. The light faded. Standing before me was the most armored woman I'd ever seen in my life, and somehow also one of the most exposed. Her armor was silver and gold, clearly designed by someone who believed in protection, but also believed in strategic ventilation. 2 golden disc-shaped chest plates covered the absolute minimum required by the Geneva Convention. Her abs were visible. Her legs were visible. Pretty much everything was visible except what the armor actually covered. Platinum hair flowing to her waist like frozen moonlight. Ice blue eyes containing 0 warmth and maximum. I will shield bash your face in a next week. Energy. Left hand. Golden round shield covered in holy runes. Right hand. Silver lance that gleamed cold enough to frost the air. She stood perfectly still. A living fortress disguised as a woman. A cathedral with a spear. Name. Brunhild. Race. Winter Saint. Class. Tier 3. Temple Guardian. Potential. S-rank. Unique. Constitution. 50. At level 1. 50 Constitution. She hasn't even fought anything yet, and she's already tankier than half the bosses I've killed this week. Her starting stat is higher than some heroes' final stats. Skills. Sacred Shield Bash. Guardian Aura. Passive Defense Buff. Winter Lance. She's a super tank. An actual, legitimate, indestructible wall of holy woman who exists specifically to stand between danger and everything I care about. My army has DPS for days. Pujuan for melee annihilation, Tong for assassination, Ruoxue for ranged obliteration, Yuan for magic artillery. What I've never had is someone whose entire job is to stand in front of attacks and say no. Brunhild is that, no. She's the no. That other, knows, aspire to become. She looked at me with those frozen blue eyes. 0 emotion on her face. Pure professional soldier energy. The kind of woman who would take a meteor to the chest, brush off the dust, and ask if there was a second one coming. Temple Guardian. Brunhild. I whispered her name like it was sacred. 5 heroes. S-rank minimum. DPS, assassin, sniper, mage, and tank. Every role covered. Every weakness patched. The most complete, most overpowered, most unfairly stacked hero roster on this entire continent. Day 4. Not even sunset yet. And I have 5 legendary women, an Air Force blueprint, a wonder fragment, a dwarven forge pumping epic weapons, a spirit spring upgrading everyone daily, 632 evolution points, and enough treasure to make a dragon jealous. Wang Tung is out there terrorizing people with screenshots of dead lords and demands for tribute. He should be writing his will. Brunhild opened those ice blue eyes, scanned the entire area like a security camera doing a threat assessment, and locked onto me. She walked over. And when I say walked, I mean she marched. Those impossibly long white legs moving with military precision, platinum hair swinging like a silk curtain, golden shield in one hand, silver lance in the other, face showing exactly zero emotions. This woman's resting expression was, I could block a siege engine with my face and not blink. She stopped in front of me, slammed her shield into the ground so hard it cracked the stone. By divine decree, from this day forward, Brunhild's shield stands only for the master, one knee. Head bowed, platinum hair pooling on the ground like spilled moonlight. Loyalty, 100. Until death and beyond. Instant max loyalty. Didn't even need to feed her, save her, or scratch her ears. She just showed up preloaded with absolute devotion. Some heroes are complicated. Brunhild is simple. Point her at something. She blocks it. Done. I helped her up and cold. Her skin was like touching a beautiful glacier. Smooth, flawless, and approximately the temperature of a winter morning. This woman is literally made of ice and holy determination. She stood up to her full height, and she was only half a head shorter than me. This girl was tall, taller than most of my swordswomen, built like an Olympic athlete who also moonlights as a cathedral. Then she looked behind me and saw my other 4 heroes. Pujuan, Tier 5, flaming dragon armor, eating a piece of jerky with one hand while casually holding a 3-meter halberd in the other. Ruoshui, Tier 4, SS-rank, water energy armor, blue slit pupils glowing, looking like an ocean goddess on lunch break. Yuan, Tier 3, SS-rank, 3 fluffy fox tails swaying, crescent moon on her forehead, holding a staff taller than her. Tong, Tier 3, S-rank, standing in a shadow that shouldn't exist, cat ears flat, daggers dripping residual poison, radiating, I am already behind you, energy. For the first time, Brunhild's frozen expression cracked. One eyebrow went up approximately 2 millimeters. For her, that was basically a standing ovation. This territory seems somewhat formidable, somewhat. She said somewhat. I have a Tier 5 legendary dragon war god, and the new girl called it somewhat formidable. I respect the understatement. This woman's standards are astronomical. But I had zero time for bonding exercises. The war machine needed feeding. Dwarves. Thump, 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 thump. My 2 bearded wrecking balls appeared instantly. Eyes already scanning for materials to hammer. I threw them a bag of gold coins that landed with a thud heavy enough to crack pavement. Naga scales. Harpy claws. Every piece of swamp leather in my warehouse. I want 19 sets of Tier 3 harpy claw battle armor for my swordswomen, and 3 sets of Tier 3 Naga heavy shield armor for my Xuanjia guards. Done by sunrise. AYE lord. They grabbed the gold, screamed something in Dwarven, and thundered back into the forge on their tiny legs. The hammering resumed before the door closed. These women hadn't slept in 2 days and showed zero signs of slowing down. Dwarven metabolism is apparently fueled by pure stubbornness and forge fumes. Lanshi, here, master. The harpy nest blueprint. Build it. Buy whatever materials were missing with gold. I don't care about cost. Tomorrow morning, I want flying units. Yes, master. She ran off with the urgency of someone whose boss just said, money is no object, for the first time in corporate history. Swordswomen, all of you, Spirit Spring Baptism, into the pool. Now, 19 girls jumped into the life spring like it was the world's holiest swimming pool. Splashing, giggling, sighing with relief as life energy soaked into their battered bodies. Bruises fading, muscles recovering, potential slowly, quietly improving with every passing minute. I stood at the pool's edge, supervising while my entire territory operated at maximum speed around me. Forge hammering, construction crews building, farmers farming, cooks cooking, soldiers bathing, everyone doing something. This wasn't a settlement anymore. This was a war factory that happened to have pretty landscaping. Midnight passed. New day. Recruitment refreshed. Recruit. 8 figures emerged from the spring. 7 tall female farmers. Standard. D-rank. Exactly what I needed for spirit field labor and mining operations. Welcome to the workforce, ladies. But number 8. A short girl. Fire red hair cropped close. Body compact, but radiating pure explosive power. Wearing basic leather armor and carrying a battle axe that was literally bigger than her. She looked like someone had compressed an entire gym into a person half its size. Berserker Girl. Tier 2. Rare unit. Potential, C-rank. Skills, Berserk mode, active. Massive stat boost, whirlwind slash, spinning AoE attack. Description, a race that worships strength and combat. Their blood contains berserker factors. Once in battle mode, they fear nothing. A berserker. A tiny, adorable, red-haired maniac who carries an axe twice her size and goes into rage mode during fights. She's basically a human hand grenade with anger management issues, and I love her already. She'd be perfect with those golden claw gauntlets once she levels up. Or maybe I evolve her into something even crazier. The possibilities with this one. Day 5 roster update for anyone still keeping score. Heroes, 5 Pajuan, Tier 5 Legendary Dragon War God. Roashui, Tier 4 SS-rank Ocean Sniper. Yuane, Tier 3 SS-rank Moon Goddess. Tong, Tier 3 S-rank Poison Assassin. Brunhild, Tier 3 S-rank Holy Tank. New. Army, 19 Silver Swordswomen, getting Tier 3 Armor. 3 Xuanjia Guards, getting Tier 3 Armor. 12 Female Hunters, 1 Berserker Girl. New. Assorted Workers, Cooks, Bunny Maids, Dwarf Blacksmiths, and Cat Girls. Infrastructure, Spirit Spring Heart, Moonwell, Dwarven Forge, Harpy Nest, under construction, Spirit Fields, Barracks, and a Wonder Fragment stored in my territory core, giving permanent buffs. Treasury, enough gold and gems to make a dragon feel middle class. Evolution points, 632. The sun wasn't even fully up yet, and my territory was already operating at a pace that would give a Fortune 500 company anxiety. Wang Ting gave everyone 12 hours to surrender. Those 12 hours are almost up. And when they expire, he's going to send his Griffin Knights to collect tribute from every lord in Blood Moon Forest, including mine. I sincerely, deeply, genuinely hope he does, because I have been waiting for an excuse. A tiny redhead carrying a battle axe bigger than her entire body. That's what the recruitment pool gave me for dessert. She looked like an angry fire hydrant that someone armed with a lumberjack's worst nightmare. Berserker Girl. Tier 2. Rare. Skills, Rage Mode and Whirlwind Slash. Description says her blood contains berserker factors, and she fears nothing once combat starts. She's basically Pajuan's daughter if Pajuan was half the height and twice the anger. I put her under Pajuan's command. 2 combat maniacs in the same squad. Either they'll become best friends, or they'll destroy a mountain trying to outfight each other. Both outcomes are acceptable. Then kaboom! The Dwarven Forge erupted. The doors flew open and 2 dwarf women stumbled out looking like they'd been roasted inside a charcoal grill. Completely black from soot. Beards singed. The only white things visible were their teeth, which were grinning so wide their faces were basically 90% smile. Lord. 22 sets complete. Armor for everyone. These 2 hadn't slept in approximately 48 hours. They'd been hammering nonstop through 2 consecutive all-nighters fueled by nothing but dwarven pride and whatever fumes come out of a magical forge. Their work ethic should be studied by scientists. My swordswomen, who were still in the spring of life pool at this point, soaking in healing water, heard the word, armor, and lost their minds. 19 girls erupted from the water simultaneously like a synchronized swimming team that forgot the swimming part and went straight to sprinting naked toward clothing, water flying everywhere. Screaming, pushing, zero modesty, maximum enthusiasm. Mine. That one's mine. I called the biggest size. Move your elbow. That's my chest plate. I looked away. Looked at the sky. Counted clouds. Very interesting clouds today. Moving on. The new armor was gorgeous. Harpy Claw Battle Armor. Tier 3. Fine quality. Defense, 80 to 100. Strength 10. Agility 15. Passive, 10% chance to cause bleed on attack. Dark gold color. Made from actual harpy feathers and claws. Real talons mounted on the elbows and knees as built-in weapons. It was armor that said, I will protect you and stab you at the same time. Form-fitting, lightweight, and absolutely lethal looking on every girl who put it on. The 3 Xuanjia guards got something even beefier. Naga Heavy Shield Armor. Tier 3. Fine quality. Defense, 150 to 180. Constitution, 20. Strength, 10. Passive, 5% physical damage reduction. Full body blue scale heavy plate, forged from Naga materials. These three women went from tough to walking bank vaults. Nothing was getting through them. Nothing. 22 warriors suited up and standing at attention. 19 harpy armored swordswomen looking like an elite strike force from a fantasy action movie. 3 Naga armored guards looking like siege engines that someone taught to walk. Greetings, Master. 22 voices. One impact. Goosebumps so intense I felt them in my teeth. My army had gone from peasant clothes, basic leather silver, chainmail swamp leather tier, 3 monster armor in less than a week. The glow-up was so dramatic it deserved its own documentary. Now, what to do with 632 evolution points? I checked the prices. Evolving a hero from S rank to SS rank for 1,000 points. Evolving the Spring of Life to Tier 4 for 1,000 points. I have 632. I am, once again, broke in the face of ambition. Story of my entire existence in this world. Get rich. Realize I need to be richer. Go hunting. But the Spring of Life upgrade was critical. Tier 4 would give me the chance, even if small, to recruit S-rank heroes directly from the pool. That's not just an upgrade, that's a talent pipeline. An endless source of elite warriors produced daily while I sleep. I need 4,000 evolution points. Where do I find them? Ruoxue, Tong, Scout. Find me the biggest, fattest hunting ground within range. They vanished. 30 minutes later, they were back. Ruoxue's Ice Queen face had a rare crack of concern. Master, 50 kilometers west. A cursed black forest, filled with Tier 3 shadow wolf spiders. At least 100 of them. And possibly a Tier 4 Spider Queen boss, shadow wolf spiders. They specialize in stealth and ambush, Tong added, which was extremely ironic coming from a girl whose entire career was stealth and ambush. There, difficult, 100 Tier 3 monsters. A possible Tier 4 boss. Stealth specialists hiding in a cursed forest designed to kill intruders. Most lords would hear that description and run screaming in the opposite direction. I heard it, and my brain calculated. 100 Tier 3 kills at roughly 5 points each equals 500. Plus a Tier 4 boss equals 400 to 500. Plus stragglers and bonus loot equals? That's potentially 1,000 points in one raid. For raids like that, and the Spring of Life goes to Tier 4. Perfect. I crack my knuckles. Target, Cursed Black Forest, Pujuan, bring your new pet berserker. Ruoxue, you're on Overwatch with that eye of yours. Brunhild, first mission. Show me what that shield can do. Yuan, infinite healing. Keep everyone alive. Tong, Spider versus Assassin. Show them who's the real ambush predator. All units, move out. My army surged forward. 22 armored warriors in matching Tier 3 gear. 5 S-rank or higher heroes. A tiny berserker carrying an axe that could chop down a building. 2 invisible dwarf women presumably still hammering something inside the forge because they've forgotten how to stop. 632 evolution points. Need 4,000. Deficit, 3,368. That cursed forest has no idea what's marching toward it. A spider queen sitting in her web somewhere, thinking she's the apex predator of her region. Completely unaware that the actual apex predator is a college student with an SSS-rank cheat talent, a harem of legendary warriors, and an absolutely unhinged appetite for evolution points. Let's go grocery shopping. The spiders are the groceries. The Black Forest was everything its name promised and worse. Dark as a movie theater at midnight. Air thick with rot. Ground made of decomposing leaves that squished under our boots like nature's worst carpet. And spider webs everywhere, sticking to faces, arms, hair, armor. Every 10 steps someone would go, EW, and peel silk off their neck. Stay alert. Watch above and below. I was walking point with Brunhild right beside me. Her first real mission. Golden shield up, silver lance ready. Ice blue eyes scanning like a military-grade surveillance system that happens to be gorgeous. She moved through this horror forest with the emotional range of a refrigerator. Zero fear. Zero discomfort. She probably considered this a relaxing stroll. Behind us, Pujuan looking bored and annoyed because stealth operations physically pain her. She wants to fight things loudly. Sneaking is against her religion. Tong, of course, was invisible. Somewhere. Probably right next to me. I've learned to stop looking for her. 3 Xuanjia guards in upgraded Naga armor protecting Yuan in the center. 19 swordswomen in their shiny new Harpy Claw armor bringing up the rear with Ruoshui on overwatch. Then, HSSSS, something launched from the bushes at bullet speed. A spider the size of a bull, 8 red eyes, black armored shell, fangs dripping venom, heading straight for the smallest swordswoman at the edge of the formation. KYA. The girl couldn't even draw her sword. Those fangs were 1 second from her face. Clang. A golden flash materialized between the spider and the girl like it teleported there. Brunhild. Shield up. Body planted. Not moving. Not flinching. The spider's full-speed lunge slammed into her golden shield and minus 85 damage. 85. That's IT. A tier 3 elite ambush predator attacking at maximum velocity did 85 damage to a woman who didn't even lean backward from the impact. Her body was a statue. Feet didn't move a millimeter. The spider basically headbutted a mountain and the mountain was annoyed about it. The spider made a confused hissing sound. Like, why? Why am I not eating right now? Pathetic. Brunhild's eyes went glacial. Sacred shield bash. She shoved her shield forward. 1 push. The bull-sized spider went flying. Launched backward like it got hit by a golden truck. 8 legs spinning in the air. Eyes literally becoming spirals from the concussion. Before it landed, Winter Lance. Her silver spear crossed the gap in a blink and punched through the spider's skull while it was still airborne. Minus 1,550. Weakness crit. Dead. 1 shot. Mid-flight. The spider was a corpse before it touched the ground. Tier 3 elite spider killed. 30 evolution points. The girl who almost got eaten was standing behind Brunhild staring at that platinum-haired back with actual stars in her eyes. Full anime sparkle mode. New favorite hero identified. The rest of my swordswomen were collectively whispering, "Whoa," in 20 different tones of awe. Brunhild flicked green spider juice off her lance. Face, unchanged. Heart rate, probably unchanged. This woman's emotional bandwidth could fit on a sticky note with room to spare. Then the forest came alive. HSSSSSSSS, red dots. Everywhere. In the trees. In the bushes. Underground. Dozens of crimson eye clusters lighting up the darkness like the world's worst Christmas tree. 30+ tier. 3 spiders, converging from every direction. Weed killed 1 and awakened the entire colony. Shield wall. Xuanjia guards hold. Swordswomen, target the leg joints. Use the bleed passive. 3 Naga armored guards slammed their tower shields into the earth. The spider wave hit them. Clang, 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 clang. Fangs, legs, and bodies crashing into the shield wall like a horrifying bug tsunami. Minus 55. Minus 60. Minus 58. The new tier 3 Naga armor was tanking like a champion. Those spiders were throwing everything they had and barely scratching the paint. My guards grunted, gritted, and held. Charge. 19 harpy-armored swordswomen poured around the shield wall like golden lightning bolts. New armor boosting their speed and agility. Swords targeting spider leg joints with surgical precision. Crack. Minus 120. 1 girl severed a spider's front leg in a single clean cut. Bleed triggered. Minus 15 per tick. The new armor's passive was working. Every hit had a chance to make spiders leak green goop from the wound indefinitely. These girls went from can't break lizard skin 3 days ago to surgically dismembering tier 3 monsters today. Growth. Development. Character arc. Watch the webs. Tong's warning came half a second too late. A dozen spiders raised their ugly rear ends and fired. Massive, sticky, stinking webs launched like nets across the battlefield. I can't dodge. It's on me. It's stuck. 7 or 8 swordswomen got wrapped. Thick, sticky silk plastered across their armor, their exposed skin, their arms, their legs. Every struggle made it tighter. They were being gift-wrapped by spiders for a dinner they did not consent to attend. The web spiders sensed helpless prey and charged, fangs extended, venom dripping. Moving in for the kill, my girls were getting gift-wrapped by spiders and the spiders were coming in for dinner. Help! I'm stuck. The silk is on my skin. It burns. 8 swordswomen trapped in webs like flies in the world's most disgusting candy store. Struggling made it worse. The sticky silk just tightened around them. Their expensive new armor had all those stylish open sections that looked great in combat, but turned out to be terrible against web attacks. Design flaw. Someone fire the fashion consultant. The spiders saw wrapped up helpless prey and went into feeding frenzy mode. 30 sets of fangs rushing toward my immobilized girls. Get away from them. An ice-cold voice cut through the chaos like a blade through butter. Brunhild launched forward. Shield first. Body second. Face third. And the face said, I'm going to make you regret having 8 legs. Sacred shield bash. Sacred shield bash. Sacred shield bash. Minus 180. Minus 175. She was bowling. Spiders flying in every direction like horrifying billiard balls. Each shield hit sent a bull-sized spider soaring through the air. She wasn't fighting them. She was playing a violent sport with their bodies as the equipment. Then the lance came out. Winter lance. Minus 350. Minus 360. Minus 510 crit. Every thrust went through a spider's eye and out the back, followed by an explosion of ice blue frost that froze the spider's head solid. 1 stab equals 1 spider popsicle. She killed 5 or 6 of them in approximately 3 seconds. On her first day, at level 1, the new girl walked into a tier 3 spider ambush and turned it into a pest control demonstration. Meanwhile, on the other side of the battlefield, Dragon God's Wrath. Dragon Blood Boil. Pajuan had officially run out of patience, which, for her, took about 4 seconds. Gold-red fire erupted from her body. Full S-rank talent. Maximum rage. She grabbed her halberd and became a tornado of destruction. Sweeping strike. Minus 2,850. Minus 2,910. Minus 2,880. Every swing deleted multiple spiders simultaneously. Shells cracking. Legs flying. Green juice painting the forest floor. She was moving so fast she was basically a blender with dragon horns. Her red armor was now green from absorbed spider blood, and she did not care. She was laughing. Kill. 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 Brunhild. Surgical. Precise. Freezing enemies with each strike, protecting the weak. Pajuan. A screaming explosion of fire and violence, leaving nothing but spider parts. Ice and fire. Order and chaos. 2 heroes operating on completely different wavelengths, and somehow creating the most devastatingly effective team-up I'd ever witnessed. Yuan, pick off the flankers. Ruashue, carpet bomb that cluster. Yes, master. Yuan's moon arrows started sniping spiders that tried to sneak around our formation. Each silver bolt punching through spider skulls with surgical precision. Minus 490. Minus 510. Ruashue raised her epic bow, and the sky opened up. Oceanic arrow rain. Blue death rained across the largest spider concentration. Minus 595. Minus 588. Minus 920 crit. Spiders screaming. Spiders dissolving. Spiders regretting every life choice that led them to this forest today. Tong. Now, the cat girl had been waiting. While Brunhild froze spiders and Pajuan stunned them, Tong was quietly cataloging which ones were temporarily helpless. Poison shadow flash. She appeared behind a frozen spider. Daggers in. Daggers out. 5 stacks of venom. The spider melted into green, putting before the ice even thawed. Then she vanished. Appeared behind another one. Stab, stab. Melt. Gone. Next target. Stab, stab. Melt. She was playing a one-woman game of, how fast can I dissolve things, and she was winning. For minutes. For minutes. 30-plus tier, 3 elite spiders. All dead. 0 friendly casualties. 980 evolution points. Brunhild leveled to 3. Pajuan leveled up. Tong leveled up. Everyone gained experience. Nearly 1,000 points from one battle. My total shot to 1,612. Still not enough. Need 4,000. But we were getting there fast. Then the forest started shaking. Not trembling. Not vibrating. Shaking. Trees falling over. Ground cracking. Something massive was pushing through the forest like a bulldozer made of nightmares. And then I saw it. A spider the size of a house. Black obsidian armor plating covering every inch. 8 legs like steel scythes. Each footstep leaving craters. A swollen abdomen the size of a small car. Pulsing. Writhing. Clearly full of something I did not want to think about. And on its back, growing from its back, a human woman's face. Beautiful. Twisted. Dripping with malice. like someone glued a supermodel's head onto a kaiju-class arachnid. Shadow Spider Queen. Tier 4. Boss. Level 16. Level 16. The highest level enemy I'd ever faced. Higher than the Siren Queen. Higher than the Harpy Queen. This thing had been sitting in the dark, breeding an army, and we just murdered her entire family in front of her. She was not happy about it. Pathetic landwalkers. You dare slaughter my children. Her human face smiled. It was the most disturbing smile I'd ever seen. Like watching a mannequin learn emotions and choose, psychotic, as its first one. I will turn all of you into my EGG beds. Before I could even respond. Splurt, 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 splurt. Her swollen abdomen fired. Dozens of fist-sized eggs wrapped in white mucus launched into the air like biological artillery rounds. They hatched mid-flight. Dozens of dog-sized baby spiders erupted from the eggs before they even landed, hitting the ground running, fangs first, venom dripping, charging straight at my formation. A boss that spawns additional enemies during the fight. She's not just a spider, she's a spider factory. An assembly line of nightmares with legs. The baby spiders swarmed toward my girls in a black, chittering wave. Every swordswoman tightened her grip. Brunhild raised her shield. Pudgeon grinned, actually grinned, and revved up her halberd. Yuane's fox ears went flat with determination. Ruoshue's bow was already drawn. And somewhere in the shadows, a pair of green daggers caught a sliver of light and vanished. This was going to be the nastiest fight of my career. And I was ready for it. Baby spiders. Dozens of them. Dog-sized, freshly hatched mid-air, hitting the ground already running with fangs out and venom dripping. This boss wasn't fighting us. She was running a maternity ward and sending the newborns straight into combat. Worst parenting I've ever seen. Best military strategy? Debatable. Brunhild. Hold the line. My Ice Queen didn't hesitate. Shield down. Body planted. Golden Aura activated. Guardian Aura. All friendly units within 10 meters. 10% physical defense. The baby spider wave crashed into her shield like a tsunami of legs and screaming. -15. -18. -12. Single digits and teens. Dozens of tier 2 spiders attacking a woman with 50 base constitution, and she was taking damage that wouldn't kill a houseplant. These babies were basically giving her an aggressive massage. She didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't even change her expression. Standing there like a platinum-haired lighthouse in a storm of spider children. Ruoshue. Arrow rain. Clean them up. Oceanic arrow rain. Blue death fell from the sky. 35 baby spiders evaporated in a 5-second downpour of water element annihilation. Green mist where living things used to be. 70 evolution points. The Spider Queen saw her freshly born children get deleted in real time, and her human face went from evil to psychotically furious. Die, flying. Insect. She aimed at Ruoshue, hovering above the battlefield like the world's prettiest target, and fired a beam of concentrated venom like a biological laser cannon. The speed was insane. A green streak cutting through the air fast enough to leave an afterimage. Ruoshue's tidal eye kicked in. Time slowed in her vision. She saw the venom beam approaching in slow motion. And then, with the flexibility of a woman made of water and pure defiance, she twisted her body sideways in midair, the toxic blast passing close enough to her thigh to probably leave a tan line. The tree behind her dissolved. Just melted. 100-year-old tree turned into soup by a blast that missed my archer by inches. Oh, you dodged? The queen's face showed surprise. Then GLE. Try this. Toxic megaweb. Her mouth opened impossibly wide and launched a spider web 10 times bigger than anything the regular spiders produced. 100 meters across. Glowing green. Descending on my entire army like a poisonous blanket being dropped on a campsite. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. The web covered everything. Brunhild. She was already moving. Shield raised overhead. Every ounce of holy energy she possessed channeled into one desperate technique. Sacred Shield Sanctuary. A golden dome of energy erupted from her shield, expanding outward, covering my entire army like a divine umbrella against acid rain. The megaweb hit the golden dome. HSSSSSSS. Corrosion versus holy energy. The dome flickered, cracking under the pressure. Brunhild's face went white, blood vessels bulging on her hands. her whole body shaking from the strain of holding back a tier 4 boss's ultimate attack with a level 3 body. Can't. Hold. Crack. The dome shattered. She coughed blood, staggered backward. Remnants of the toxic web still falling toward us. Pathetic web. Pajuan had been waiting for exactly this moment. Dragon God's wrath was already active, halberd blazing with purple fire. She launched upward into the falling web fragments. Break. 1/1. The entire remaining web structure disintegrated. Toxic spray went everywhere, but Pajuan's hyper armor meant she literally did not care. Venom splashing off her dragon scales like rain off a windshield. She didn't even slow down. Kept going. Straight at the Spider Queen. -1650. Armor break. The halberd cracked through the Queen's obsidian chest plates. Fracture lines spiderwebbing, ironic, across the armor. Scree. Tong. Now. Tong had been invisible this entire fight. Watching. Waiting. Her truth-piercing gaze had found the weak point 3 minutes ago. She'd been standing in position for the last 60 seconds, daggers ready, breathing controlled, waiting for the exact perfect microsecond. Poison shadow flash. She appeared under the Queen's swollen abdomen, the weakest point on the entire body, and drove both Swamp Fong daggers upward with everything she had. Full venom stacks applied. Poison eating through soft tissue. The Queen's belly was basically an unarmored balloon full of eggs, and Tong just punctured it with toxic daggers. Ruashui. Soul-chasing water arrow. Homing shot. Cannot miss. Aimed at the same puncture wound. Blue streak across the battlefield. -1620. Magic damage. Weakness bonus. Slow applied. Yuan. Brunhild. Everything you've got. Moon arrow from the Fox Girl. Winter lance from the Ice Queen. 5 heroes pouring everything into one target from 5 different angles. 3 seconds. 5 attacks. 1 very dead spider. Boom. The Spider Queen's house-sized body exploded like the world's worst piñata. Green juice. Unhatched eggs. Spider chunks. Raining down across the entire forest clearing in the most disgusting celebratory confetti I've ever experienced. Tier 4 boss killed. 800 evolution points. Brunhild level 5. Pajuan level 11. Tong level 10. Ruashui level 10. Yuan level 9. 5 heroes leveling simultaneously. Golden light firing from every direction. The forest clearing looked like the finale of the world's most violent fireworks show. I checked my evolution points with shaking hands. Total, 2,482 points. From 632 to 2,482 in one expedition. Need 4,000 for the spring evolution. Over halfway there after a single forest raid. My 5 heroes stood in the wreckage. Pajuan covered in green gore, grinning. Brunhild wiping blood from her mouth, expression unchanged. Just another Tuesday for the Ice Queen. Tong flicking spider juice off her daggers with the casual energy of someone cleaning lint off a jacket. Ruashui floating above the mess, silver hair billowing. Not a single drop of spider on her, because she fought from the sky like a civilized person. And Yuan, clutching her staff with both hands, pale-faced, 3 tails puffed to maximum, looking like she'd just survived a horror movie, but would absolutely do it again if I asked. 5 women. 5 completely different fighting styles. 1 obliterated Spider Queen. This team doesn't have weaknesses anymore. It has options. Tank needs to hold. Brunhild. Need raw destruction? Pajuan. Surgical elimination? Tong. Ranged apocalypse? Ruashui. Healing, buffs, and emergency shields? Yuan. I'm not building an army. I'm assembling the Avengers. And we're only on day 5. Evolution points, 2,412. Need 4,000. Gap, 1,588. The math is getting closer, but closer doesn't pay the bills. 3 loot items floating in the spider gore like presents in the world's worst ball pit. Item 1, Spider Queen's Venom Sac. Tier 4. Epic material. The concentrated lifetime poison collection of a boss tier arachnid. Can be used to forge tier 4 epic poison weapons or brew lethal toxins. I immediately thought of Tong's daggers. Her swamp fangs are tier 3. This material could push them to tier 4. My invisible cat girl assassin with upgraded poison daggers? At that point she's not an assassin. She's a Geneva Convention violation with ears. Item 2. Skill book, Summon spider servants. Rare. Summon 2 shadow spiders 1 tier below your own level to fight for you. Maximum 4 active at once. A summoner skill. I looked at Yuane. My SS-rank moon goddess who can heal, buff, shield, and shoot moon arrows was about to add minion commander to her resume. Item 3. Spider Queen's Shadow Ring. Epic accessory. Spirit 25. Agility 15. Active skill. Summon a tier 3 shadow spider for 10 minutes. 1 hour cooldown. Another summoning ability. On a ring. I shoved both items into Yuane's tiny hands before she could even process what was happening. These are yours. F for me. Her face went full tomato. Fox ears vibrating. 3 tails doing confused circles behind her. She stared at the dark ring like I'd just handed her a live grenade. You're an SS-rank moon goddess, but all you do is shoot and heal. That's like owning a Swiss Army knife and only using the toothpick. These give you summoning. Now you can shoot, heal, buff, shield, and command spider armies. Spider armies. Her green eyes went supernova with excitement. The scared little fox girl from the mine was learning to be a warlord. Skill learned. Ring equipped. My fox girl healer was now a healer DPS buffer shielder summoner. She was basically 5 characters crammed into one small body with fluffy ears. If RPGs had a class called Everything, that would be Yuane. I opened world chat while my girls dismantled spider corpses. Wang Tung had been busy. Breaking news. Wang Tung's Griffin Knights just annihilated Blackwind Fortress. The B-rank leader and all 100 of his tier 2 bandits, shredded from the air. Another one gone. Wang Tung is unstoppable. Who's next? Wait, someone called Iron Blood Alliance is talking trash. Their leader, Iron Mountain, has an S-rank talent called Titan Body. Says he's not afraid. Iron Blood Alliance? That guild full of musclemen with 0 female citizens? The all-dude bodybuilder faction. Ha ha ha, imagine Griffin Knights versus bodybuilders. Pay-per-view material, an S-rank talent in the region. Interesting. So there are other strong players hiding out there. The food chain was getting more complex. But none of it changed MY priorities. Get points. Evolve Spring. Get stronger. Deal with Wang Tung when the time comes. Battlefield cleared. Master. Pajuan was carrying a pile of spider legs bigger than herself, looking like the world's most terrifying grocery shopper. Everyone, home, back at base. Night fell. The dwarven forge was screaming again. My 2 dwarf smiths had received mountains of tier 3 spider materials and were losing their minds with creative possibilities. Then they ran up to me with those crazy forge-drunk eyes. Lord, evolve US. Give US power. We want TO forge greater things. They were begging to be evolved. My blacksmiths wanted upgrades so they could make better upgrades. It was evolution recursion. I checked the price. Evolving 2 tier 2 C-rank dwarf smiths to tier 3, 150 points each. 300 total. 300 points to permanently improve every single piece of equipment my forge would ever produce going forward? That's not spending. That's investing in infrastructure. Every future weapon, every armor set, every enchantment would be better because my crafters were better. Compound returns. Warren Buffett would be proud. Done. Hands on shoulders. 2 stocky, sweaty, bearded shoulders. Evolve. Minus 300 points. 2 red light pillars erupted. When the light faded, my dwarf girls were bigger. Taller by at least a head. Muscles more ridiculous. Beards more magnificent. Their eyes burned with the intensity of women who had just received divine permission to hammer things harder. Dwarf Forging Masters. Tier 3. B-rank potential. Skills. Master Forging, Rune Mastery, Alloy Control. They went from really good blacksmiths to legendary craftswomen who could probably forge a sword that cuts through dimensions. Power. Unlimited power. Praise the Lord. They slammed their fists against their newly enhanced chest muscles, which were now basically steel plates wrapped in skin, producing booming sounds that echoed across the entire territory. Then their eyes locked onto the dwarven forge with the hunger of artists who just leveled up and needed to create. Lord, give us the Spider Queen's Venom Sack. With our new skills, we can forge a tier 4 epic poison blade for your assassin. Tier 4. Epic. For Tong. I looked at the Venom Sack, looked at the forge, looked at my 2 newly ascended master craftswomen who were vibrating with creative energy. Take it. Make something terrifying. They grabbed the sack and sprinted into the forge. The door slammed shut. Hammering began immediately. The temperature inside probably exceeded the surface of the sun. Evolution points remaining. 2,112. Still need 4,000 for the spring. But my forge just got upgraded. My fox girl became a summoner queen, and somewhere inside that screaming building, 2 manic dwarves were forging a tier 4 poison weapon for my invisible cat girl assassin. Tomorrow I hunt again. Bigger targets. More points. The spring of life will reach tier 4. And when it does, the recruitment pool will start producing S-rank heroes on its own. At that point, Wang Tung won't need 100 Griffin Knights. He'll need a miracle. I want weapons that can kill gods. That's what I told my dwarves. Their beards caught fire from the excitement. Not metaphorically, I think actual sparks landed on their facial hair. They grabbed the Spider Queen's venom sac, a pulsing, throbbing organ full of tier 4 boss-grade poison that was literally still moving in their hands, and sprinted into the dwarven forge like 2 bearded cannonballs with a dream. The forge door slammed. The chimney stopped producing normal smoke and started belching black-green toxic clouds. The entire building started shaking like it was having an anxiety attack. Every person in the territory took 3 steps backward instinctively. Is the forge going to explode? Are the dwarves okay in there? My swordswomen were huddled together in their bath towels looking terrified. Several explosions came from inside the building during the 3-hour forging process. Actual explosions. My dwarves were either creating a masterpiece or committing industrial suicide, and honestly, it could have gone either way. Tong stood outside the forge door the entire time. 3 hours. Motionless. Those cat eyes never blinking. Not because she was worried about the dwarves. She could feel her new weapons being born inside. Like a mother sensing her child. Except the child was a pair of poison daggers designed to end lives. 3 hours of hammering. 3 hours of explosions. 3 hours of toxic smoke. Then a pillar of sickly green light punched through the chimney. Not red. Not gold. Poison green. The light was so thick with death energy that birds flying overhead changed course mid-flight. Inside the beam, I swear I could hear snakes hissing. Thousands of them. Like the venom sac soul was screaming its final words into the sky. The forge doors creaked open. 2 dwarves emerged. They looked like they'd been baked inside a volcano, rolled in charcoal, and set on fire for dessert. Their beards were curled from heat. Their skin was black with soot. One of them had an eyebrow missing entirely. But their faces? Pure. Unbridled. Triumph. In their outstretched hands, a pair of daggers. Except calling them daggers is like calling a nuclear warhead a firecracker. These were curved black fangs. Literal poison snake teeth forged into weapons. The blades were midnight black with rivers of glowing green toxin flowing through channels in the metal, pulsing like veins carrying liquid death. Just looking at them made my soul itch. Shadow venom fangs, dual wield. Tier 4. Epic. Attack, 280 to 350. Each. Times 2. Agility 50. Spirit 30. Passive, venomous touch. Every attack stacks, Spider Queen's venom, on the target. True damage per second based on spirit stat. Ignores 30% magic resistance. Stacks up to 15. 15 stacks of true damage. That ignores magic resistance. On every hit. Let me do the math. Tong teleports behind someone. Stabs twice. For stacks. Stabs twice more. 8 stacks. 3 more hits. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. The target now has 15 simultaneous streams of unavoidable, resistance-ignoring, spirit-scaling damage eating them alive from the inside every single second. Nothing survives that. Nothing. Not bosses. Not heroes. Not gods. Active. Shadows embrace. Enter enhanced stealth. Movement speed 100%. Next attack is a guaranteed critical and applies 10 stacks of venom instantly. While stealthed, immune to 1 lethal hit. She goes invisible. Moves at double speed. First strike is an automatic crit with 10 instant poison stacks. And if someone somehow catches her, the first killing blow just doesn't work. She gets a free death dodge. This isn't an assassination tool. This is a death sentence with handles. Tong, she was already shaking. Not fear. Hunger. Those cat eyes were burning with a need so intense, it was practically visible. I placed the daggers in her hands. The moment her fingers closed around the hilts, green shadow energy erupted from the weapons and swallowed her whole. Her old leather armor cracked apart and dissolved. A new suit materialized from pure shadow energy. Skin-tight black combat gear that made her look like darkness itself decided to take the shape of a very pretty cat girl. She stood there, transformed, upgraded, holding weapons that could melt a dragon's immune system. Her face, that eternally frozen, never shows emotion, Ice Queen in miniature face, actually smiled. Not a small smile, a real one, the kind that reaches the eyes. The kind that says, "I have finally become what I was always meant to be, Master." Her voice cracked. Tong, the girl who speaks in monotone whispers. Cracked. "Thank you for giving me this power." I nodded. Kept it cool. Professional. Inside I was doing backflips because my invisible poison assassin just received weapons that could theoretically solo a raid boss through pure damage over time while remaining completely undetectable. Hero roster update. Pajuan, Tier 5, S-rank, Epic Halberd. Frontline Annihilation. Ruoshui, Tier 4, SS-rank, Epic Bow. Ranged Apocalypse. Yuan, Tier 3, SS-rank, Summoner Healer Buffer Shielded DPS. Walking Army. Brunhild, Tier 3, S-rank, Holy Shield Tank. Immovable Object. Tong, Tier 3, S-rank, Tier 4 Epic Poison Daggers. Death Incarnate. Every single hero now has epic or higher equipment. Every single one has been evolved, enhanced, or upgraded in the last 48 hours. This isn't a team anymore. It's a doomsday device shaped like 5 beautiful women. Evolution points, 2,112. Need 4,000. Gap, 1,888 points. Ruoshui, Tong, Brunhild. Scout everything. I want every tier 4 boss location within 100 kilometers mapped by morning. Tomorrow, the spring of life becomes the Holy Light Spirit Pool, and after that, I look toward Blood Moon Forest, where Wang Tung sat on his griffin throne, demanding tribute, killing lords, terrorizing the weak. After that, we go say hello to the neighborhood bully. 3 scouts vanished into the night. Forge still hammering. Territory buzzing with energy. 1,888 points to go. A handful of boss fights away from evolving my recruitment pool into something that produces S-rank heroes like a vending machine. Day 5. Still in newbie protection. Still technically a beginner. The word beginner has never been more aggressively misapplied in the history of language. Nobody slept. Nobody could sleep. The entire territory was running on pure adrenaline and Dwarven Forge fumes. My 5 heroes assembled at dawn looking like the cover of a video game that costs $200 and is worth it. Pajuan, halberd on shoulder, dragon aura flickering, looking like she'd fight the sun if I pointed at it. Ruoshui, ocean armor, epic bow, blue slit eyes scanning horizons I couldn't even see yet. Brunhild, golden heavy armor, silver lance, ice blue eyes, emotional range of a glacier. Perfect. Tong, new shadow armor, new tier, 4 daggers, cat ears flat with predator focus, existing in a shadow that followed her around like a loyal pet. Yuan, white priestess robes, fox ears perked, 3 tails swaying, spider summoning ring glowing on her finger. My sweet little fox girl had become a one-woman army, and she was still blushing about it. My 3 scouts had been out all night mapping the region. They reported in like military officers at a briefing. Brunhild went first, northwest, 80 kilometers. Lava lizard nest inside a volcano. Fire resistance too high. Not recommended. Delivered with the enthusiasm of someone reading a grocery list. I love this woman's energy. Or lack thereof. Tong, south, 100 kilometers. Primeval forest. At least 3 tier, 4 boss signatures. Too far. Too dangerous. Too many unknowns. Smart. Conservative. Classic Tong. She'd rather stab something she studied for 3 hours than rush into a mystery. Then Ruoshui stepped forward, and her frozen face had a crack of excitement in it. For Ruoshui, that's basically jumping up and down screaming. Master, 60 kilometers east, a massive canyon called Thunder Roar Gorge. Lightning everywhere. Extreme conditions. And based on feathers and claw marks I found, a tier 4 thunderstorm ROC is nesting inside. Thunderstorm rock? And there's more. The canyon walls are embedded with thunder crystals, rare material needed for Tier 4 lightning equipment and special building upgrades, thunder crystals. The exact material I needed to evolve my harpy nest recruits into stronger lightning variants. The universe was once again doing my shopping for me. That's our target. All units, move. My army ripped through 60 kilometers in under 2 hours. New armor, new levels, new confidence. My swordswomen were running like Olympic sprinters, their harpy claw armor catching the light, legs pumping with Tier 3 enhanced power. Ruashue's title, I navigated us around every obstacle like a divine GPS system. Then we heard it. Boom, boom, boom. Thunder. Real thunder. Not the weather kind. This something alive is making this noise kind. We entered Thunder Roar Gorge, and every jaw in my squad dropped. A canyon hundreds of meters wide. Walls smooth as glass, impossibly steep, and studded into those walls. Hundreds of fist-sized crystals crackling with live electricity. Every few seconds, a bolt of lightning would slam down from the perpetual storm clouds above and hit one of the crystals, creating an explosion of light and sound that rattled my bones. This place was a natural lightning factory. Beautiful, terrifying. The air tasted like burnt metal and smelled like ozone mixed with fear. This is literally where lightning lives. Then, a cry so powerful it punched through the thunder. The kind of sound that makes your instincts send your legs a message that says, "Run," in all caps. A shadow erupted from deep inside the canyon, rising, growing, blocking out what little sky was visible between the storm clouds. 20-meter wingspan. Silver-gray feathers made of what appeared to be actual metal. Lightning arcing across every single feather like the bird was wearing the storm as clothing. Talons bigger than Pudgyuan's entire body. Golden eyes containing the focused malice of a creature that has never, in its entire existence, met something it couldn't kill. Thunderstorm Rock. Tier 4. Boss. Level 18. Level 18. The highest level boss I'd ever faced. By a lot. The Spider Queen was 16, and she almost killed several of my people. This thing was 2 levels higher, could fly, and was wrapped in lightning like a feathered Tesla coil. Skills: Thunder Claws, Lightning Storm, Thunder's Wrath, a passive aura that paralyzes anyone within 100 meters. A Paralyze Aura. Passive. Just being near this thing would shut down my soldiers' nervous systems. My melee fighters couldn't even get close without their muscles locking up. Yuan was already trembling. 3 tails puffed to emergency fluffiness. She looked like a fox-shaped stress ball being squeezed by the universe. Spread out. Brunhild, get ready to tank. The rock didn't wait for my battle plan to finish. Its golden eyes locked onto the smallest, most fragile-looking member of my squad. Yuan, obviously, and a dove. From cruising altitude to attack speed in 0 seconds. A 20-meter bird transformed into a silver lightning bolt falling from the sky. Talons extended, electricity crackling, moving so fast the air behind it literally exploded with a sonic boom. It was heading for Yuan at the speed of light. My fox girl's green eyes went wide. Her mouth opened. No sound came out. Pure animal terror. The talons were 3 meters away. 2 meters. 1. This bird was about to learn the very hard way that targeting my weakest member was the worst strategic decision it could possibly make. Because between those talons and my fox girl stood 4 heroes who would collectively burn down heaven to protect her. And they were already moving. The thunderstorm rock dive-bombed Yuan at the speed of actual lightning. 20 meters of silver death plummeting from the sky, like God threw a bird at my fox girl. Talons crackling with enough electricity to power a small city. Sonic boom trailing behind it. Moving so fast my eyes could barely track it. Yuan stood there frozen. Mouth open. No sound. Pure. I'm going to die. Energy radiating from every fluffy tail. My 3 Xuanjia guards tried to raise their shields. Too slow. Not even close. This bird was faster than thought. Not on my watch. A golden blur teleported across the battlefield. Brunhild, covering dozens of meters in a blink, slamming herself between the rock and Yuan like a human wall made of holy energy and stubbornness. Sacred Shield Sanctuary. Golden Dome. Maximum output. Everything she had. The rock's lightning-charged talons hit the shield. Kaboom. Minus 980 damage. To Brunhild. through her shield. In one hit. The golden dome that blocked the Spider Queen's megaweb, the barrier that held against a Tier 4 boss's ultimate attack, cracked like an eggshell. Brunhild coughed blood, bright red against her platinum hair, and went flying backward like a ragdoll thrown by a giant. Then the paralysis aura kicked in. Her body locked up mid-flight. 3 seconds of being a frozen, bleeding, airborne statue. This bird just one-shot my S-rank tank through her strongest defensive ability. Level 18 hits different. Sister Hilda, Ywain screamed. The rock looked at Brunhild's crumpled form with complete contempt. Then those golden raptor eyes turned back to Ywain. Unfinished business. Ywain fired a moon arrow in desperation. Minus 280. It bounced off the rock's feathers and left a scratch so shallow it was basically a suggestion. The bird didn't even flinch. It looked at her the way you look at a mosquito that bit you and missed the blood vessel. Talons raised again. Round 2. Ywain was dead. Get the hell away from her. A comet made of dragon fire and pure fury slammed into the rock's side at approximately the speed of rage. Pujuan. Dragon God's wrath already blazing. Halberd swung with enough force to rearrange geography. Dragon Fong, shatter the stars. The epic halberd crushed into the base of the rock's wing. Minus 1,850. Armor break. The wing, made of metal feathers that could deflect most attacks, actually bent. Deformed from the impact. The rock screamed. Not a battle cry, a pain scream. The kind that says, that actually hurt me and I'm not used to this feeling. Paralysis aura triggered. Pujuan frozen for 3 seconds. Her body locked mid-swing. Muscles seized. That magnificent warrior frame turned into a golden red statue hovering in combat stance. The paralyze aura was the rock's real weapon. Get close enough to hurt it, you freeze. Can't hurt it from range. Its feathers deflect everything. A perfect defensive system. Unless you're an invisible cat girl with Tier 4 poison daggers who doesn't need to stay in melee range for more than half a second. Now, a whisper from nowhere. Tong materialized at the exact spot where Pujuan's halberd had cracked the wing armor. The wound. The weakness. Shadow's embrace. Activated. Her body went semi-transparent. Movement speed doubled. Next attack guaranteed critical with 10 instant venom stacks. Shadow venom fangs found their mark. Critical. 10 stacks of Spider Queen venom applied. The rock shrieked so loud the canyon walls vibrated. The poison was inside its body now, eating through flesh from within. True damage. Ignoring resistance. 10 streams of unavoidable agony. Then the rock went nuclear. Lightning storm. Every feather on its body discharged simultaneously. Silver bolts of electricity erupted in every direction, covering a 100-meter radius in a web of pure electrical death. Tong got hit by multiple bolts. Shadow's embrace. Lethal damage immunity triggered. She survived. Barely. Her free death dodge saved her life, but the residual damage still sent her flying. Blood from her mouth. Body ragdolling. She hit the canyon wall and slid down it like a broken doll. My heart clenched. 2 heroes down. Brunhild recovering from paralysis. Pujuan frozen. Tong injured. Ywain too weak to fight alone. But I still had 1 card. RUSHUI. She was already locked in. Tidal eye blazing. Those SS-rank blue slit pupils tracking every single wing beat, every electrical discharge, reading the rock's attack patterns like sheet music. Every time it flaps, there's a 0.3 second energy gap at the chest core. Right. Now, soul-chasing water arrow. The homing arrow ripped through the lightning storm like it wasn't there, weaving between electrical bolts with impossible precision. The rock saw it coming and tried to dodge, cannot dodge a homing arrow. The arrow punched through the storm, through the feathers, and directly into the energy core on the rock's chest. Minus 1,880. Magic damage. Weakness hit. Slow applied. The lightning storm collapsed. The rock's ultimate ability, the 100-meter death zone of electrical annihilation, just got interrupted by a single perfectly aimed arrow. The electricity fizzled out like someone pulled the plug on the world's worst bug zapper. Ywain. Summon. By US time, my trembling fox girl raised her ring hand. Come forth. For Tier 3 shadow spiders materialized and launched themselves at the slowed rock. They couldn't hurt it meaningfully. Their fangs barely scratched those metal feathers, but they were distractions. Eight-legged speed bumps buying precious seconds. The rocks swatted at the spiders, annoyed, confused, slowed, bleeding poison from 10 internal wounds. Brunhild's paralysis wore off. She stood up, wiped blood from her chin. Face, unchanged. This woman got one shot through her ultimate defense by a level 18 boss, and her reaction was, "That was unpleasant. I shall now retaliate." Winter Lance. Silver Spear drove into the cracked wing root. Ice energy exploded on contact. Minus 680. Crit. The wing went from damaged to barely functional. The rock couldn't fly straight anymore. It was listing sideways, struggling to stay airborne with one ruined wing. Then Pudgyuan's paralysis broke. Dragon God's wrath was still active. She had seconds left on the timer, and she was going to use every microsecond of it. She jumped. Not ran, jumped. Straight up, higher than the rock, higher than the canyon walls. Her body a blazing red star ascending against the storm clouds. At the peak of her jump, she flipped, halberd overhead, every rune burning. Every ounce of buffed, blessed, rage-empowered dragon warrior energy channeled into one planet-killing downward strike. Shatter, minus 3,350. Critical. Armor break. Weakness. The halberd came down on the rock's skull like divine judgment delivered via express mail. The rock's golden eyes went blank. Its wings stopped beating. A creature that had ruled this canyon since before my territory existed simply stopped. It fell, like a mountain being dropped. Hit the canyon floor with an impact that created a crater and sent shockwaves through the stone that I felt in my ankles from 50 meters away. Thunderstorm Rock, Tier 4 Boss LV-18. Defeated. 1,000 evolution points. 1,000 from a single kill. The biggest single boss payout ever. Golden upgrade light everywhere. Every hero leveling. Every soldier gaining experience. The canyon lit up like a celebration made of pure achievement. Total evolution points, 3,112. Need 4,000 for the Spring of Life evolution. Gap, 888 points. Less than 1,000 away. One more hunt. Maybe two. And then my recruitment pool transforms into something that produces S-rank heroes like a factory. I looked at my 5 heroes. Brunhild wiping blood off her lance with 0 expression change. Pudgyuan standing on the rock's corpse with 1 foot raised, halberd planted, posing like a conqueror. Tong sitting against the canyon wall, injured but already cleaning her daggers. Ruoxue floating above, barely scratched, looking like an untouchable sniper goddess. And Yuan surrounded by 4 spider minions. Fox ears slowly unflattening. 3 tails cautiously unpuffing. 5 women. 1 dead lightning god. 888 points to go. The finish line was in sight. The Thunderstorm Rock fight was not easy. Let me make that clear. This wasn't another Pudgyuan one-shots everything while I sip tea situation. This bird was level 18, wrapped in permanent lightning, and had a paralysis aura that made half my army's muscles stop cooperating with their brains. After what was clearly the hardest battle of my career, and I'm skipping the details because my blood pressure is still recovering, we won. But barely. The aftermath looked like a disaster relief zone. Pudgyuan was leaning on her halberd like a crutch, dragon aura flickering on and off like a dying light bulb. The woman who laughs while fighting Tier 4 bosses was actually panting. Tong was on her knees, hand pressed against her chest, blood on her lip. Her shadow armor was charred, actual electrical burn marks across the black leather. Some of her exposed skin had lightning scars that looked like someone had drawn angry red tattoos on her with a cattle prod. Brunhild, my indestructible ice queen, had a dent in her golden chest plate the size of a basketball. Her face was ghost white. She'd tanked something that should have killed a regular person 6 times over, and she was still standing, but barely. When she said, "Thank you," to Yuan in a weak voice, I knew the fight had been serious. This woman doesn't show vulnerability. She shows vulnerability the way mountains show flexibility. She doesn't. Yuan. Heal everyone. My tiny fox medic was already sprinting between patients. First Brunhild. Hands on the dented armor. Golden moonlight flowing. Color returning to that frozen face. Then Tong. Full moonlight cleanse. Washing away electrical burns. Watching new pink skin grow over the damage in real time. 105. 60, 62, 58. Yuane's healing numbers were the most beautiful math I'd ever seen. She was running around the battlefield like a one-woman hospital, staff glowing, fox ears flattened with concentration, three tails streaming behind her. Every touch fixed something. Every spell saved someone. SS-rank healer. Worth every single evolution point. If Yuane didn't exist, I'd have to invent her. Strip that bird. Everything. Feathers. Claws. Beak. I want it bald. My swordswomen attacked the rock's corpse with more enthusiasm than they'd shown fighting actual enemies. 19 girls climbing a mountain-sized dead bird, yanking out metallic feathers and sawing at talons. They looked like the world's most aggressive taxidermy team. 3 loot items. Item 1. Thunderbird Feathers X10. Tier 4. Epic material. Premium crafting ingredients. 10 of them. Each one crackling with residual electricity. These could make Tier 4 lightning weapons or armor that would make Wang Tang's Griffin Knights look like sparrows. Item 2. Thunderhorn. Rare special item. Blow it once per day. A literal lightning bolt falls from the sky onto a 10 by 10 meter area. Mass damage plus paralysis. I just obtained a once-daily orbital bombardment disguised as a musical instrument. This is the kind of item that wins battles by itself. Item 3. Thunder Crystals X100. The exact material I needed for the Harpy Nest evolution. 100 crystals just casually sitting in the loot pile like they were waiting for me to show up and take them. Evolution points. 3,412. Need 4,000. Gap. 588. So close. Agonizingly close. Like being 588 steps from the finish line of a marathon I've been running for 3 days. Brunhild. Take 3 guards and the Berserker girl. Mine those crystals off the canyon walls. The Ice Queen nodded and marched toward the cliff face with her mining crew. The Berserker girl finally got to do something. She grabbed her oversized axe, screamed a war cry that echoed through the entire canyon, and started chopping crystal deposits out of solid rock with the intensity of someone who'd been waiting her entire life for permission to hit something with an axe. Sparks flying. Lightning zapping. Girls yelping every time a residual charge shocked them. Yuane running around healing electrical burns faster than the canyon could inflict them. It was simultaneously a mining operation and a comedy show. 1 hour of this chaos later, thunder crystals harvested, 352. Plus the 100 from the boss drop equals 452 total. Way more than enough for the Harpy Nest and leftovers for crafting. My girls also cleared out a few Tier 2 thunder lizards that were lurking in the canyon like discount security guards. A few more evolution points trickled in. Evolution points. 3,502. Need 4,000. Gap. 498. 498 points short. I was standing at the edge of greatness and couldn't quite reach it. Like being 1 coin short at a vending machine that sells ultimate power. Do I march everyone back out and find another boss? That could take hours. Wang Teng's deadline was approaching. Every minute mattered. Master, Ruoshue's voice. Sharp. Alert. Her SS-rank blue eyes were locked on the canyon floor, specifically, the crack at the very bottom. The part where the canyon went from deep to possibly infinite, down there. Something's glowing. I walked over and peered into the abyss. Darkness. Rocks. More darkness. And then, way down, a faint golden shimmer. Pulsing, like a heartbeat made of light. The lightning energy down there is 10 times stronger than up here, Ruoshue reported, her tactical brain already running calculations behind those ocean eyes. 10 times stronger meant one of 2 things. Either there was a Tier 4 lightning monster sleeping at the bottom of this canyon, or there was some kind of ultra-rare thunder treasure that accumulated power over centuries. Either option meant evolution points. Lots of them. Possibly the exact 498 I needed. I looked at the crack. Looked at my battered, burned, electrocuted, but still standing army. Looked at the golden glow pulsing from the depths like an invitation written in lightning. Everyone, on your feet, my army groaned. They'd just fought a Tier 4 boss and mined crystals for an hour in an active lightning field. They were exhausted. But when I pointed down into the abyss with a grin, that probably looked mildly insane. We're going deeper. Every single one of them tightened their grip on their weapons, squared their shoulders, and followed me toward the crack in the earth. Because at this point, they'd follow me into a volcano. They'd follow me underwater. They'd follow me to the moon if I pointed at it and said, "There's evolution points up there for 198 points." That's all that stood between me and a Tier 4 recruitment pool that could produce S-rank heroes on demand. 498 points hiding somewhere in the glowing darkness below. Let's go get them. I didn't bring the whole army down. That would be stupid. The crack was barely wide enough for one person at a time, and sending 19 swordswomen down a lightning-infested abyss after they just fought a Tier 4 boss would be less strategic and more mass murder with extra steps. Left the girls topside to rest. Took only my 5 heroes and the little berserker girl who was vibrating with unused energy like a caffeinated firecracker. Grab the rope. Watch your feet. I went first. Because lords lead from the front. Also because if something was going to eat the first person down, I wanted to see it coming instead of hearing about it from behind someone's butt. Down we went. Hundreds of meters into the crack. Pitch black except for random thunder crystals embedded in the walls, flickering with blue electricity like the world's most dangerous night lights. Lightning bolts kept jumping from the walls. Little silver snakes of electricity zapping past our bodies every few seconds. Eep. Yuan attached herself to my back like a koala made of anxiety. Her arms around my neck. Her fox ears pressed against my shoulders. Her 3 tails wrapped around my waist so tight I could feel her heartbeat through them. The softness pressing against my back was notable. I chose to focus on not dying. Brunhild took rear guard, shielding everyone from stray lightning with her golden shield. Sparks bouncing off it constantly. -5, -8, -5. She was taking chip damage from the environment just by existing. Didn't complain once. This woman's pain tolerance is higher than most people's ambitions. Even Tong got zapped. Her hand went numb for a second, making her grip on her new daggers wobble. Pujuan and Ruashae were tight-faced. This place was mean. Finally, my feet hit solid ground. A narrow platform. And ahead, a cave entrance just big enough for one person to squeeze through. The golden glow was coming from inside. Brunhild went first because that's what tanks do. She had to basically compress herself through the opening. Her chest armor hit both sides of the narrow gap simultaneously, and she had to do this awkward shimmy that was simultaneously heroic and architecturally unfortunate. Structural limitations versus structural generosity. The cave won. Inside, my brain broke. A massive underground cavern. Ceiling covered in lightning crystal stalactites. And in the center, sitting in a nest made entirely of thunder crystals, an EGG. Not a regular egg. A person-sized EGG. Dark gold shell. Covered in lightning runes that pulsed with fading electricity. Hovering slightly above the nest like gravity was giving it special treatment. Thunder Dragon Egg. Tier 4. Epic. Status. Dying. Energy depleted. Description. An egg containing the bloodline of an ancient thunder dragon. Life force is critically weak. Requires massive electrical energy to reactivate. If successfully hatched, has an extremely high probability of producing a Tier 4 epic thunder dragon hatchling. A dragon. A. Real. Dragon. Not. Dragon blood warrior. Not. Dragon-themed weapon. An actual dragon. Baby version. But a dragon. The kind of creature that civilizations build religions around. The kind of thing that shows up in legends and makes everyone in the story collectively soil their medieval pants. And it was dying because its energy source, the thunder crystals and the canyon's lightning, had been depleted. Partially because we mined half of them 20 minutes ago. Oops. HSSSSSS. Because of course there was a guardian. A 10-meter snake slithered out from behind the egg. Blue scales. Silver horn on its head. Eyes full of, "You touch that egg and I turn you into a lightning-charred skeleton." Unicorn Thunder Python. Tier 4. Elite. Level 15. It had been absorbing the dragon egg's excess energy for years, making it way stronger than a normal snake had any right to be. Brunhild. Tank it. Everyone else. Dump everything. The Ice Queen launched at the snake, shield first. Clang. The snake's head bounced off her golden shield. It whipped its tail at her. Smack. She coughed blood but held position. Her feet dug trenches in the stone floor, but she did not move from between the snake and the rest of us. She was bleeding. Again. Taking hits that would kill a normal person. Again. And she was just standing there absorbing it all with a facial expression that said, "Is that all you've got?" while internally her organs were probably filing formal complaints. Then my team went nuclear. Dragon God's Wrath, Soul-Chasing Water Arrow, Shadow's Embrace, Summon Spider Servants. Pajuan hit it with everything she had. Ruoshue's homing arrow drilled into its side, with zero chance of missing. Tong activated her new stealth mode, double speed, guaranteed crit, 10 instant poison stacks, and materialized under the snake's belly with both daggers already inside its flesh before it knew she was there. And Yuane? My sweet little fox girl summoned 4 shadow spiders from her new skill and sent them charging at the python like a tiny general commanding a nightmare army. Then she started pelting it with moon arrows while her spider minions gnawed on its scales. The Tier 4 Elite Python, Guardian of a Dragon EGG, powered by years of accumulated thunder energy, got absolutely steamrolled. It didn't even get to use its second skill. Thud. 10 meters of dead snake hitting the cave floor like someone dropped a very large, very expensive garden hose. Tier 4 Elite killed. 600 evolution points. I checked my total and my hands started shaking. Evolution points, 4,012. 4,012. 4,000. I did it. The goal. The number. The threshold that would transform my recruitment pool from pretty good to legendary. The amount I'd been grinding bosses, raiding snake empires, and dive-bombing into lightning canyons to reach. 4,000 points. Ready to be spent. The second I get home. Ha 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 ha. I couldn't contain it. Full villain laugh in an underground cave surrounded by dead snake and a dying dragon egg. My 5 heroes stared at me like I'd lost my mind. I had. Temporarily. It came back. But the celebration was short because the dragon egg's glow was getting weaker by the second. With the guardian dead and the crystals mostly mined, whatever energy was keeping this egg alive was fading fast. The egg is dying. We need to get it home. Now, Pajuan and Brunhild carefully extracted the person-sized egg from its crystal nest. It was cold to the touch, but I could feel a tiny, faint heartbeat inside. A pulse. Barely there. A dragon fighting to exist. Tong collected the dead snake's loot, a Tier 4 rare thunder horn and 50 Tier 3 lightning scales. Nice haul, but my brain was already gone. Already home. Already standing next to my spring of life. Already pressing the evolve button. Yuane was poking the egg gently with one finger, ears perked, face full of wonder. It's alive in there, barely, and it won't be for long if we don't move. I stored the egg in my spatial inventory. The cold weight of it settled against my consciousness like carrying a promise. Everyone, full speed, back to base. Not a single stop. We climbed out of the abyss, collected our resting troops, and sprinted home. 4,012 evolution points. A dying dragon egg. An army of heroes. And a recruitment pool about to become the most broken piece of infrastructure on the entire continent. Day 5. The day I hit 4,000. The day I found a dragon. Wang Ting's deadline has expired. His Griffin Knights are probably already airborne, heading toward territories that refuse to pay tribute, including mine. I hope they come, because when they arrive, they'll find a Tier 4 spirit pool, an air force, a dragon egg, and 5 heroes whose combined power could probably crack the continent in half. Come collect your tribute, Wang Tung. I've got your payment right here. Everyone move. Full speed. And no stops. We tore through the forest like an express train made of beautiful women and bad intentions. The route home was not peaceful. Every predator within 5 miles apparently decided today was attack the army day. Shadow leopards lunging from trees. Brunhild's shield said no. Poison vines grabbing at ankles. Pajuan's halberd said not today. Packs of Tier 3 monsters blocking the road. Ruoshue's arrow rain said cease to exist. My team was a lawnmower and every monster was grass. But the real MVP of the trip home was Yuane. My tiny fox girl had gone from scared healer hiding behind guards to summoner warlord commanding a spider army while healing teammates and shooting moon lasers. She had 4 shadow spiders running ahead of the formation like nightmare fuel scout dogs, tanking hits, biting things, and generally being the grossest, most effective meat shields in military history. She summoned those spiders. From nothing. Using a skill she learned yesterday from a dead boss. Character development doesn't begin to cover what happened to this girl. Every monster we killed added points. 25 here, 20 there. The counter was ticking up like a taxi meter in Manhattan traffic. Evolution points when we reached base. 4,158. The territory walls appeared through the trees, and I didn't even slow down. Girls were lining up to welcome us home, smiling, waving, excited to see us. I blew past all of them like a man late for the most important appointment of his life. Everyone stand by. Ling Yi, handle the wounded. I sprinted to the spring of life. Skidded to a stop. Slapped my hands on the rim. System. Evolve. Spring of life. To Tier 4. Right now. Confirmed. Consuming 4,000 evolution points. Evolution initiated. Ka boom. The explosion of energy made every previous evolution look like a candle next to the sun. A pillar of holy golden light erupted from the spring so violently it punched a hole in the cloud layer. The ground didn't just shake, it rearranged itself. The basic jade pool expanded 5 times over. The stone walls transformed into sacred crystal that glowed with warm golden light. Angel carvings, spirit beast reliefs, and elven figures materialized across every surface like divine artists were speed sculpting in real time. The water itself became milk white. Not cloudy, holy. The kind of liquid that makes your soul feel clean just by standing near it. Less, pool of water, and more, small lake of concentrated divine blessing. Spring of life, Tier 3, successfully evolved into Holy Light's Spirit Pool. Tier 4, epic quality. I read the stats and my knees buckled. Effect 1, daily free recruitment, 12 citizens. Up from 8, 12 per day. Effect 2, minimum potential of all recruits raised to D rank. No more F rank trash pulls. The floor just got raised. Effect 3, high probability of C rank recruits. Small chance of A rank rare units. And extremely small chance of S rank hero units. S rank. From the pool. Automatically. Every single day I roll 12 dice, and any one of them could produce an S rank hero. That probability compounds daily. Run this pool for a week, and statistically something incredible is coming out of it. Run it for a month, and I'll have more S rank heroes than I know what to do with. Special effect. Holy Light Baptism. Designate 10 citizens daily to bathe in the pool for 1 hour. Gradually improves their potential. Extra effective on light element and healer type units. A built-in potential upgrade service that runs every day. Just soak in the pool and get better. My soldiers can literally level up their genes while taking a bath. Huh. Yes. Yes. Yeez. I was doing a victory lap around the pool. Fist pumping. Probably looked insane. Didn't care. 4,000 points well spent. The best investment of my entire career. No contest. Midnight hit. Recruitment refreshed. 12 slots. Let's go. Recruit. Holy white light blazed across the sky. 12 golden orbs launched from the pool like divine fireworks. 12 figures materialized. 6 female farmers. D rank, tall, strong, immediately assigned to spirit field duty. Welcome to agriculture, ladies. You'll be growing magical vegetables that upgrade people's DNA. 2 more halfling cooks. D rank, tiny, adorable, ready to expand my kitchen operation. My culinary department was becoming a division. 1 female lumberjack, D rank, built like a truck, carrying an axe, ready to turn forests into building materials. Wood problem, solved. 1 female miner, D rank, slightly tanned, wielding a pickaxe, immediately assigned to the kobold mine. Iron problem, solved. All excellent. Exactly what I needed. Then I looked at the last 2 recruits and my grin went nuclear. 2 more dwarf blacksmiths. Matching beards. Matching hammers. Matching crazy eyes already locked onto the dwarven forge like heat-seeking missiles spotting their target. C-rank potential. Same tier, 2 rare unit. Perfect forge operators. For dwarf smiths total now. 2 shifts. Round-the-clock forging. My weapons production just doubled overnight. The dwarven forge was about to become a 24/7 factory. Greetings, Lord. All 12 girls kneeled, including the 2 new dwarves, who were already drooling at the sight of the forged chimney smoking in the distance. Ling Yi, deploy the workers. Farmers to the fields. Cooks to the kitchen. Lumberjack and miner to the resource sites. Yes, master. You too. I pointed at the dwarf newcomers. See that forge? That's your home now. Get inside. Start hammering. Don't come out until everything in my warehouse is a weapon. AY Lord. Two tiny bearded cannonballs launched toward the dwarven forge, hammers raised, war screaming in dwarven, and disappeared through the doors before I finished my sentence. The hammering frequency inside doubled within 30 seconds. 4 dwarves working in shifts meant the forge would literally never go cold again. I stood in the center of my territory. Night sky above, golden pool glowing behind me, forge screaming to my left, spirit fields shimmering to my right, workers streaming toward assignments, heroes resting, soldiers bathing in the holy pool getting daily potential upgrades for free. Then I felt it. In my storage space, a faint pulse, weak, getting weaker. The dragon egg, a tier 4 epic thunder dragon embryo, slowly dying because its energy source was gone. Every minute it spent unhatched was a minute closer to becoming the most expensive paperweight in history. Next priority, I whispered, staring at the dark sky, is keeping you alive, a dying dragon. A freshly evolved S-rank capable recruitment pool. An army getting stronger by the hour. A treasure hoard that could buy a small country. And a deadline approaching where Wang Tung's Griffin Knights would come knocking on my door expecting tribute. Day 5. Evolution points. 158 remaining after the big spend. But with 12 daily recruits, a forge running 24/7, spirit fields producing magical food, and a holy light pool upgrading everyone who touches it. I wasn't just catching up to the competition anymore. I was lapping them. And somewhere in the dark, a tiny dragon heartbeat was counting down the seconds until I figured out how to save it. Tick, tick, tick. Challenge accepted. Morning sunlight hit my territory, and it looked like a civilization. An actual, functioning, thriving civilization that I built from a wooden shack and 2 farmers in less than a week. 4 dwarf blacksmiths were going berserk inside the dwarven forge, shirts off, beards flying, hammers blurring, sweat glistening on muscles that had muscles. They'd achieved a state of forging nirvana. Armor parts were coming out of that building like products off an assembly line. Tier 3 gear being mass-produced by tiny, bearded women who hadn't slept since the concept of sleep was invented. Lanchi had the spirit fields operational, 7 farmer women planting seeds in soil that literally glowed. The dirt was enchanted. The dirt. My agricultural program had evolved from stick seeds in ground, hope for best, to plant magical crops in divine soil irrigated by miracle water. Other lords were eating raw potatoes. My people were going to be eating food that upgraded their DNA. New lumberjack heading to the forest with an axe. New miner heading to the kobold mine with a pickaxe. Resources flowing. Economy booming. Everything running like a machine. Then I remembered the dying dragon in my pocket. I rushed to my secret chamber and pulled the egg out of storage. The moment it materialized, it started inhaling the room's ambient spirit energy like a vacuum cleaner. Sucked every trace of magic right out of the air. And it still wasn't enough. Not even close. Status. Energy at 5%. Dying. 5%. This egg was on life support with the plug halfway out of the wall. Every second that ticked by was a second closer to losing a dragon. 158 evolution points in my pocket. Useless. Can't evolve the egg. It needs raw electrical energy, not evolution points. Ruashue. Scan the canyon. Is there anything else down there? Her SS-rank title I activated. Full power. Scanning through hundreds of meters of solid rock like it was window glass. Yes, master. 500 meters below the cave where we found the egg, there's a natural thunder vein. A geological formation of pure concentrated lightning energy. It's 100 times stronger than the surface crystals, a thunder vein. An underground river of pure lightning. Enough energy to power a dragon egg for centuries. It was right there the whole time, hidden under 500 meters of rock. 500 meters of rock that needed to be dug through. I looked at my single tier, 1 female miner. D-rank potential, holding a basic pickaxe, looking confused about why the Lord was staring at her like she was the most important person alive. What's your name? I'm Ashy. Ashy. Want power? P-power? I'm just a miner. A miner who's about to become the best miner on this continent. Hand on shoulder. Evolve. Tier 1, Tier 2. Cost. 10 points. D-rank, C-rank. Earth miner. She glowed. Got sturdier. Pickaxe felt lighter in her hands. Again. Tier 2, Tier 3. Cost. 50 points. C-rank, B-rank. Earth miner evolved into Heart of Stone. The second evolution hit different. Ashe let out a growl, an actual growl from a mining lady, as power surged through her. Her body got denser. Her eyes changed. She could suddenly feel the earth beneath her feet, not just standing on it, reading it. Like the ground was sending her text messages about where every mineral deposit was hiding. Skills. Earth vein sensing, passive, can detect underground minerals. Rock shatter, active, break stone formations. Or refinement, passive, extracted or is automatically higher quality. She could sense or deposits through solid rock. She could shatter stone with her bare hands. And everything she mined came out better than it went in. She wasn't a miner anymore. She was a geological weapon. Evolution points remaining, 98. But one superminer digging through 500 meters of rock would take forever. I needed a demolition partner. My eyes landed on the berserker girl. The tiny redhead with the oversized axe who'd been standing around looking desperately bored since I recruited her. You? What's your name? Red Axe, sir. Red Axe. Of course her name was Red Axe. A berserker named after her own weapon. Peak naming convention. No notes. You're coming with me. Special mission. Then I looked at Brunhild. My indestructible ice queen. The woman who tanks tier 4 boss attacks for breakfast. Brunhild. You too. Yes, master. 0 questions. 0 hesitation. This woman would follow me into the center of the earth if I asked. Which is basically what I was asking. Ashe. Red Axe. Brunhild. You're my excavation squad. Everyone else, grab tools and follow. We're going back to Thunder Roar Canyon. Target, 500 meters underground. Objective, reach the Thunder Vein before that dragon egg runs out of time. I had 98 evolution points. A dying egg at 5% energy. A newly evolved superminer. A berserker who hits things really hard. An ice queen who can shield the team from underground cave-ins. And a 500-meter countdown between me and the energy source that could hatch a dragon. This wasn't a mining expedition. This was a rescue mission. A rescue mission for a baby dragon. And I was running out of time. Move, move, move. We'd fought goblin chiefs, kobold geomancers, swamp lords, naga queens, harpy queens, spider queens, and a lightning bird the size of a house. But this might be the hardest challenge yet. Because monsters, you can kill. Rocks? Rocks don't care about your epic weapons. Rocks don't have weak points. Rocks don't get scared when you activate Dragon God's Wrath. Rocks just sit there, being rocks. For 500 meters. Ashe, I hope that rock shatter skill of yours is as good as advertised. SIR, yes SIR. I'll punch through the planet if you need me to. That's the spirit. Let's go save a dragon. Back to Thunder Roar Canyon. Again. 3rd visit. At this point I should be paying rent. Brunhild went first because that's what she does. She exists to walk into danger so other people don't have to. If danger was a door, Brunhild would be the one kicking it open, walking through, and holding it for everyone else while getting shot at. Ashe, my freshly evolved tier 3 superminer, followed behind her with eyes glowing earthy yellow. Her earth vein sensing was active, and she was looking at the rock walls the way a sommelier looks at wine, reading geological data from solid stone like it was a newspaper. This woman could probably write a PhD thesis on underground mineral distribution just by standing still for 5 minutes. Red Axe brought up the rear, bouncing with barely contained energy. This girl had been waiting for someone to say, "Go hit something," since the moment she was recruited. She was a loaded spring shaped like a tiny redhead. Down we went, 200 meters into the crack. This time was worse than before. The lightning wasn't just occasional anymore. It was everywhere. Silver electric snakes crawling through every crack in every wall, zapping anything that got close. The air itself was basically weaponized electricity. Brunhild had to keep her sacred shield up constantly just to stop us from getting fried. Even through the shield, tiny damage numbers kept ticking. -2, -3, -2. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, lightning edition. Red Axe got grazed by a tiny bolt on her bare arm. Eep. So tingly, her entire body did an involuntary shimmy. She looked like a cat that just touched a bathtub. "Focus," Brunhild said, voice cold enough to freeze the lightning. Red Axe immediately stopped goofing off and tucked herself right behind the Ice Queen's backside, using Brunhild's body as a human lightning rod. Smart survival strategy. Questionable personal space boundaries. Then, dead end. A massive black boulder, covered in thunder crystals, completely blocking the path downward. Lightning dancing across its surface like it was daring us to touch it. Nature's "Do Not Enter" sign, written in electricity. Ashy. What's behind it? She pressed her glowing eyes against the rock. Earth vein sensing at maximum power. Reading the stone like Braille. Sir, it's hollow behind this. And 30 meters below that, the thunder vein's edge, 30 meters. That's it. 30 meters of rock between us and the energy source that could save a dragon. I looked at Red Axe. Red Axe looked at the boulder. The boulder had no idea what was about to happen to it. Red Axe. Break it. Yes, SIR, yes, SIR, yes, SIR. Her eyes went wide with the specific joy that only someone with anger management issues and a very large axe can experience. Berserk mode. RAHH. Her pupils turned blood red. Her muscles swelled. Not huge, not bodybuilder big, but tight and explosive, like someone compressed a bomb into a girl-shaped container. Her leather armor creaked from the sudden expansion. Every vein visible. Every fiber engaged. She looked like a chipmunk that had just been injected with pure rage. Whirlwind slash. She became a tornado. Her entire body spinning. The oversized axe creating a circular blade of death, hammering the crystal-covered boulder with hits so fast and furious the impacts blurred together. Clang, 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 clang. -85. -90. -88. Not huge numbers individually, but she was swinging so fast the damage was stacking. Cracks appeared, spread, multiplied. The boulder that had been sitting here for possibly thousands of years was getting speed demolished by a girl who weighed less than the axe she was swinging. Break. Open. Now, one final overhead slam. Every ounce of berserker fury compressed into a single strike. Kaboom. The boulder exploded. Shrapnel flying in every direction. Crystal fragments loaded with electrical charge shooting outward like nature's fragmentation grenade. Shield. Brunhild already had her golden dome up. Crystal bullets pinged off it like hail on a tin roof. Ding, 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 ding. Dust cleared. Red Axe was standing in front of a hole in the rock, swaying slightly, face crimson, chest heaving, arms trembling from total muscle exhaustion. She looked like she'd just sprinted a marathon and arm wrestled a bear simultaneously. But her eyes? Pure triumph. The happiest I'd ever seen anyone look while being too tired to stand straight. Through the hole, a wave of electrical energy hit us so hard Brunhild's shield cracked instantly. Inside. Now, I dove through the opening. Everyone followed. And what was on the other side made me forget how words work. An enormous underground cavern. Not a cave. A cathedral carved by nature over millions of years. The ceiling wasn't rock, it was a thundercloud. An actual storm system living underground, flashing with constant silver lightning, rumbling with perpetual thunder. And in the center of this impossible space, a river. Not water, not lava, liquid lightning. 10 meters wide, length unknown. It stretched beyond sight in both directions. A flowing stream of pure, concentrated, weaponized electrical energy, pulsing with a slow, rhythmic beat. Like a heartbeat. Like the heartbeat of the earth itself. Every pulse sent out a wave of power so intense it made my teeth vibrate and my hair stand on end. This wasn't a vein of energy. This was a sleeping dragon made of pure thunder, running through the foundation of the continent like a divine power line. This is the thunder vein. I whispered it. Felt stupid whispering. But this place demanded reverence. Standing here felt like standing inside a god's circulatory system. This was the answer. This was what would save the dragon egg. Enough electrical energy to power a city, just flowing endlessly through the earth, waiting for someone crazy enough to dig down 500 meters and find it. Red Axe, still panting, looked at the liquid lightning river and said what everyone was thinking. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, kid. Same. Now I just needed to figure out how to plug a dying dragon egg into an underground lightning river without killing everyone in a 50-meter radius. Should be simple, right?